homebistro.com. Freshly prepared, home-delivered, restaurant-quality gourmet meals delivered straight to your home. Choose from over 50-plus gourmet meal options cooked by world-class chefs and delivered frozen, ready to eat within minutes and no commit. Welcome to the One Shop Gourmet Food Delivery, specializing in affordable options to eat right and feel great. 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Every ingredient is handpicked to the highest standard. And why you should buy from homebistro.com? Restaurant quality, made with natural ingredients, delivered right to your door. Overnight shopping is available. Diabetic, paleo, heart health, and vegetarian options to eat. Doing business since 1999. Courteous, knowledgeable, and professional support. Complete PCI compliant SSL security ordering, and great meals. Choose from some of my favorite dishes: the Mediterranean chicken with orange honey sauce, the charbroiled chicken romesco, or the grilled chicken breast with sweet and spicy vegetables. No matter what you choose, you can't lose with homebistro.com. Eat great, feel good, and save some money with homebistro.com. Hit the link in the description section below for more information. Located in Henderson, Nevada, bulksupplements.com supplies over 400 pure nutritional supplements ingredients to hundreds of thousands of consumers and manufacturers. All of their products are available from grams to metric tons through their online store at bulksupplements.com. Orders received 4 noon Pacific Standard Time ship the same day. Their FDA registered CGMP manufactured and distributing facility has a staff over 60 full-time employees that take pride in providing excellent customer service and producing quality products for their customers. The wellness of the community is of the utmost importance to Bulk Supplements. It's dedicated to maintaining all health code and government regulation. Each supplement is tested in their in-house laboratory before distribution, ensuring that all products are safe for consumption. For any additional testing, they utilize reputable and vetted US-based independent labs. Customer service is available 7 days a week from 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time through live chat, phone, and email. Bulk Supplements products are produced in an FDA registered and inspected manufacturing facility. So if you want quality supplements at a quality price, Bulk Supplements is the company for you. Bulk Supplements, clean and pure bulk supplements. Check the link in the description section below for more information. TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, and even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. Who That family, check out the Pro Shop. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform stores where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. So check out the Pro Shop and Who That too.
Yeah. Well, all right. Like you always say, welcome, welcome, welcome. #1 sports talking D. We ain't like the Falcons, we won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that, who got cut and who back. Rookies in the vets, players you should look at. It's the sports coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Peyton, New Orleans, who that nation? Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or rivalry could ever hold us back. No, Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the Sports Coma, all we know is say Super Bowl. Yeah.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Maybe adjusting to some of what you feel and see.
Yeah, I think is perfect because, look, it's going to be windy, it's going to be cold there, but it was pretty windy here the last couple of days, and it's good to get out on the grass to begin with. Their surface will be a little bit different, but I think the game day conditions will be a factor in this game. It'll be important.
Sean, what is when you're watching Akeem Hicks out there? What's the thing that stands out the most about him? Is it just kind of like the pure strength, or is there something else that pops out to you?
Well, look, he's got outstanding strength, but the thing that you see that's unique is his athleticism, get off, and his ability to bend and turn. I mean, so it's not just his strength and power, but it's also the athleticism that's with it, and that makes it real difficult for whether it's the guard or whoever ends up in the matchup, because he's able to turn, and he's extremely athletic.
Go ahead, Luke.
We haven't really talked to you about this week. Is their offense any different with Foles in there? Does he add any elements to their offense?
Yeah, look, I think there are a few nuances. Appears to be they're in a little bit more gun, and yet there's still a general overview of what they're doing offensively, and so maybe. I think Mitch was handling some of the RPOs, maybe one or two more, but you can tell he's got a comfort level in the shotgun. They are under center, so they'll mix that in and work the zone schemes. And part of it is just the type of quarterback. They're a little different when you look at both of those guys.
Hey, Sean, yesterday Alvin talked about not having power. Is that something that a lot of your players had to deal with? And if so, how's the focus been?
Yeah, look, when you take a team or a group of, let's just call it, coaches, players, a group of 100 people, maybe even more than that, you know how this works. So there's areas of the city that lost it. There's areas that didn't. We're trying to help as best we can with hotel space, all the things that they may need or their family might need. And hopefully, one by one, sooner than later, that they'll be back to a little bit of the normal. All right, thank you.
Hey, Jared, has the team been able to focus pretty well this week? I know Alvin told us yesterday that he was out of power at his house, and I'm sure some others were too. But have you all been able to kind of set that aside and focus?
Yeah, it's kind of like we have to. I think football's been good for us because it kind of gets us away from the house a little bit and the things we got going on there. But at the same time, I know my family's not down here, but I know a lot of guys whose families are down here. You can kind of get worried about them a little bit during the day, but I don't have power. I know a lot of guys still don't have power, and it's tough, but being around football definitely helps.
How much of a distraction is that when you're trying to focus on preparing for games and you go home and you don't have power and maybe you want to watch film, that type of stuff?
That's a good question. It's tough. I've been trying to watch film all week. at the house.
I just
and
used the
it's-
millions of
it's
dollars
kinda
that I
been a
accrued
no-go.
over the years
I try
to
to turn my
go
cell
somewhere where I
phone
got
into a
power. I'll buy a
hotspot.
generator.
And you know, cell phones are kind of moving slow right now anyway, so it's just tough. So just spending extra time here, getting film here in the morning, extra film, getting caught up on things here instead of at home now. So it's no big change, but definitely throws a little a kink in your daily routine.
Hey Jared, what are some of the areas you feel the offense still needs to kind of improve?
I think capitalizing on opportunities when we have them, like in terms of like keeping the chains moving, especially when we're in good field position instead of settling for a field goal, going ahead and keeping the chains moving and getting points. And then also when we're in the red zone, making sure we capitalize on those points as well, making sure we get touchdowns and actually getting in the box instead of kicking field goals. I think that'll be huge for us.
And I know that offense has made a lot of improvements from compared to earlier in the season. How do you feel you guys have been able to do that, despite the fact that there's been some uncertainty with the roster between injuries and things like that?
It's just no matter who's up, we got to be prepared to play. We got to be prepared to do our job. That's the biggest thing. I think Marquez did a great job last week of coming in and filling the void. And that's what the game is about. Everybody's not going to be healthy. You pray and you hope, but everybody's not going to be healthy and ready on Sundays, every Sunday. So it's up to the next guy to step up and do big things and come in and help us when we're needed. So it's just continue to keeping guys in tune and keep them locked in and focused so they can be able to help us on Sundays.
Hey Traquan, what's it been like? Well, not what's it been like, but how have you all been able to just have so many different receivers just step up and whenever someone's absent?
I feel like it's a big part of just being prepared, and I feel like CJ and RC does a great job of making sure everybody, not just the guys who are up for that week, know what they're doing, and making sure the backups get in and taking reps as well. So I feel like, that's what they do a good job here at doing, making sure everybody prepared, because, 1 week you can be up and the next week somebody else can be up, and that just shows, you just got to stay prepared, whether you think you up or not.
Having been around Michael Thomas, how can you tell how bad he wants to be back out on the field in a game?
Oh man, like he's just itching to get out there, and we want him back out there just as bad as he wants to be out there. But I know he definitely missed being around the guys, and being part of practice and everything. I could tell for sure he definitely want to be out there, and we definitely want him to be back out there.
Hey Trey, is there like a specific play that just sticks out
what
in
are some of
your mind
the-
when you think of Alvin Kamara? Like, is there something that he did that just makes you, your jaw drop and you're like, man, that was the play?
If I can choose one play, like it's many. I'd probably say the catch on the sideline against the Chargers. That was an amazing catch, an amazing concentration. Like I looked at the film and I'm like, how did he get keep his feet in? It was just all around amazing. He went over the top of the dude's head, concentration amazing, feet in bounds, clutch play, everything. All the check marks are there. Like it's just an amazing, just watching him and watching what he does. It's always a highlight play from him in the game.
Traquan, would you have made that catch?
I would have tried my best to make it, but I'm glad it went to Kamara and not me, and so we wouldn't have to see that. But yes, I think I would have made it.
Yeah, he was saying the other day that he can throw the ball. He wants to like launch one downfield to you. Is he talking smoke, or is he actually a pretty good thrower?
No, I believe he has a pretty good arm. In practice, like today, we have a game that we play, and it's whoever hit the pylon, the first to hit the pylon win for the week. And I believe he's leading right now. He hit the pylon most out of the couple guys that do play the game. So he does have a pretty good arm.
The challenges that you've seen from the Chicago offense.
They do a lot of good things. You know, they got a lot of good weapons over there. Have a good 1-2 punch out of the backfield.
Say that the last 2 weeks that you've kind of
playing
maybe
really well.
settled in, and
you know, they're doing a good job of managing the chains, staying in front of the sticks. You know, they pose a lot of different threats on third down and in the red zone. You know, a good balanced attack. So it's going to be a good challenge for us this week.
I know he's on the other side of the field, but Alvin has had many memorable plays this season and in years past. Is there one that sticks out to you, maybe?
Like you said, he's had so many. I definitely think the one where he caught the swing pass this year was against Green Bay. I can't remember. Caught the swing pass out of the backfield and, you know, made all those guys miss and danced on the sideline all the way to the end zone. I mean, it's so many. Just a phenomenal player, and he proves it week in, week out.
When you're watching Nick Foles on tape, is there something that he does maybe differently than Mitch, or are they kind of fitting into the same system?
I think they have a lot of similarities, you know, and they're keeping the system consistent. I think the things that you see with Trubisky is, you know, he's a lot more dynamic with his feet. You know, they're going to have some run plays in there with him, and you know, he does a lot more as far as footwork in the pocket and moving around. Where Foles just he understands that's not really his strength, and so he knows how to get the ball out a lot quicker, and that's what he's been doing. Kind of knows his reads and where he want to go with the ball and gets it there. And been in the game, you know, a lot longer and had a lot of success in the league, and so I mean, he knows his strengths, he knows what he does well, and it really speaks highly of him that he's done well in multiple systems.
Coach mentioned earlier that the conditions, you know, with the weather and whatnot during the game are going to play a factor. I guess just how do you factor that into, you know, your preparation?
Just something else that's just there. You know, you play in cold games. You know, you got to know how to kind of set your body to be ready for those elements. But other than that, it's just football. It's the same game.
Mario, do you find yourself, I mean, having played in Cleveland and New York, do you find yourself giving advice to some of the younger guys who haven't played in that type of weather conditions before?
Yeah. Most guys kind of know. If you've been in the league long enough, you've had cold games. So, and everybody's different. With the young guys, you know, might tell them a few things about the elements and, you know, what they got to be prepared for and different techniques that they can do. You know, we were telling all our linebackers, you know, sleeves not allowed for linebackers in the league, so they got to find another way. So don't think that you're gonna put some sleeves on Sunday. We don't roll like that.
Hey, Mario, kind of looking. This is a non-football question, but I know the league is, you know, teams are not using their facilities on Tuesday because of the election. But just how important is that you feel like that the league, you know, decided to make that call on that?
It's really big. It's really big when you look at our last election and just how many people didn't vote. You know, it just never be a situation where people feel like their voice isn't heard or their voice doesn't matter. And so I think going above and beyond and stress the emphasis of the importance of everyone's voice, no matter who you're voting for, just understand, you know, what's going on in the world and understand that your voice matters. And that's the great part of our country is that we kind of get to decide, you know, who our leaders are going to be. And it only works when we all use our voice. And so whether that's not just the national election, but the local elections, understanding, who the city council members are, what they stand for, understanding who your local DA is, understanding who your local sheriff is, like all those matter. And understanding the power of your voice is how you really change your community, change your city, state, and the nation. And so through all the craziness or the weirdness of 2020, I think one of the biggest things is our awareness has gone up as people in terms of our own individual voices and the power of our voices collectively. And I think people are starting to understand that, and it's motivating people to do more. And if it took all of this stuff happening for people's social consciousness to be raised, and all of us to realize that when we work together, that we're more powerful, I think, I'd do it all over again.
The league put
That's Demario Davis giving you thought processes on a number of items, including the last stuff about social issues, which I'm very happy that a lot of the mass populace is waking up to a lot of the stuff that's going on, but don't stop at just what they're telling you. Research in-depthly the terms that they're using, because a lot of the stuff that's going on in the society was created by very rich people at the highest levels who are using blue-collar folk as a cover to push things through. And I'm going to just say it at that. This is nothing new. There are thousands of books, literally thousands of books written about it, because people who knew about it 50 plus or 30, 40 something odd years ago spoke about it, and they were ridiculed using a number of different methods. But it's good that the populace is waking up, but just don't stop at what the bureaucrats or the entertainers or the athletes tell you, because there's a control dynamic to it. And many of these people are under the control dynamic. Big ups to the family members in the live stream. Big ups to you and yours on this fantastic episode of the Sports Coma. Much love to the family members in the live stream. As I welcome you guys into the latest installment of the Sports Coma, I'd like to give everybody a big shout out and much love to the Black and Gold family members in the live stream. Big ups to you and yours, and welcome to this edition of the Sports Coma. Now, coming into the show, I'd like to give a big shout out to all of the family members that is showing love to the live stream. Big ups to you and yours, and welcome to this edition of the show. Now that we get into this thing here, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us as we get going. And the bottom line is, man, this is the Week 8 Saints versus Bears preview. That's right. The Saints versus Bears preview. Let me adjust my camera right here. All right, give me just a second to adjust my camera. There we go. I hit it earlier today, cleaning up the place, straightening up the studio. But big ups to the family members chiming in on this edition, man. Much love to you and yours. And like I always say, welcome, welcome, welcome. You're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports family. Of course, I'm Big Q. This is the great Saint Think Tank Ace Oak, also known as the Sports Coma, where the best of the Black and Gold reside, baby. The most intelligent of the Black and Gold nation, and we not no stinking fans. We family here. We don't ascribe to a fanatical mindset of anything, whether it's sports or any other thing. Fanaticism is a method which it just represents the complete absence of logical and critical analysis and thinking, and we don't play with stuff like that. I'm just telling you. You can't willy-nilly like that in this world, man. You got to be a strategist, man. You got to use your brain, man. The biggest muscle you have is not the one that you lifting steel with. It's this one with the hat on top of it. And please don't let it be a hat rack. Develop it. Big ups to the family members in the live stream on this one. Big ups to you and Yearns. Good to see you, GM Kev in the building. Big ups to you. Torrey Shepard Sr., who that to you? William Dickerson, who that to you? KB, what's up, baby? Who that to you? Crass, what's up, my fam? Who that to you? Big ups to Tramal. What up, Tramal? Who that to you? Uncle Paulie's in the building. Who that to you, Uncle Paul? Jasper Bowden. Who that to you? Big ups to you. Who else we got there? Demetrius Simpson, who that to you? Demetrius, good to see you in the chat, fam. Much love to you. All right, Pelicans Nola is in the building. What's up, fam? How you doing? All right, who else we got here? Lee Wood chiming in from the Philippines is in the building. Let me tell you something, man. That man on the other side of the planet listening to the Sports Coma. Big ups to Lee Wood in the building. Big ups to you, fam. What time is it over there? What time is it on your side of things there, Lee? Put it in the chat, fam. Yeah, he might be listening to the Sports Coma with some coffee in the morning. You never know. All right, big ups to Jasper. Who there to you, Jasper? Good to see you in the chat. Brian Pearson, who there to you as well. Brother Jerry, who there to you, Brother Jerry? Good to see you in the chat, my man. Appreciate you. Thank you for your support, fam. All right, big ups to Jermaine Scobie. Big ups to you, Jermaine. Neville. What up, Neville? Good to see you in the chat, fam. Big ups to you, O'Cooler. O'Cooler McGee in the building. What's up, fam? Tro Bluer. What up, Tro? How you doing, fam? Nola Bars in the building. Who there to you, Nola? Brandon Cormier, who that to you? Colton Best, who that to you? Good to see your family. And if I didn't give you a who that, give me a who that back, and I'll give you a who that in chat. I promise you, baby, I won't forget you, baby. I got you, baby. Big ups to the family member. What's up, Tyra? Who that to you, baby? Good to see you in the chat as well. Gabriel, what's up, Gabriel? Gabriel Thomas, who that to you, fam? Much love to you and Yearn in the building. You heard me? A little New Orleans in there for you. Big ups to the rest of the family members chiming in on this edition of the show. And of course, family, you know, I kind of had several interviews. I kind of rolled them out instantaneously. Who that to you, John Thompson in the building? Who that to you, John? Now, I had some, I guess you could say some interviews, and I kind of rolled them all at the same time because I wanted to kind of get through my news, notes, and items, have it done within the first summation of the time frame, then get right into your calls after the next commercial break. We already got the commercial break, one of them out of the way. At the start of the show, we have another one we'll get out the way, and then it'll be 2 hours straight of calls from you guys. That's why I'm doing it like that, to get 2 straight hours, that's right, of calls. We're going to go up to 8:30 today. I'm serious, and I'm going to cut it off at right about 5 minutes before 8:30 because we got a 9 o'clock Pelican post-game report that we got to do tonight. And I want to be able to take calls from the family members on Pelican post-game report tonight as well for reaction for Stan Van Gundy. And, of course, the Pelicans' new unis, the city jerseys. Teal, my dog Teal in the building. What up, fam? Good to see my dog Teal. Iceman's in the building. What's up, Iceman? Devin C., who that to you? Big ups to the family chiming in. And I know my dog Scoob is listening. Big up to my dog Scoob. Hope you, he texted me the other day. Scoob, big ups to your fam. Keep your head up, my brother. I know you're still dealing with some stuff, but we all love you here at the Great Saint Think Tank Sports Coma, man. Keep your head up, bro, and know that we love you, bro. We love you over here. Big ups to Derek. I know Derek L is listening somewhere. Big ups to him, and big ups to Professor. The Professor, that's right, Professor Ernest. Big ups to Professor Ernest. Who that to you, my brother? And more prayers coming your way, and all the family members out there that's dealing with the storm, the recent storm, and the 7 prior storms. We all going through it, family, but let's share that powerful, prayerful energy all together. Man, I'm telling you, man, it's like plugging your cell phone into a socket with power in it. I mean, again, it's a simple process, the same thing. That's where they get it from. You got a phone that can't last forever. It's a day if you're lucky, maybe a day and a half if you're fortunate. And we all know that in order to make it work, you got to plug it into the socket to charge it. That's the same concept when it comes down to you and your relationship to the creator. Whoever you see the creator as, you got to plug into it to get that recharge. Big ups to you. Good to see you in the chat there. Josh Goat 23. What up? Who that to you, Josh? Big ups to you, KB too, baby. Big ups to you once again. I see you in the chat. And if I didn't give you a who that, give me a who that back. I won't forget you. You heard me? All right. Okay. All right. Big ups to the rest of the family members. Now, like I said in this show, fam, we're going to cover quite a few news items. We got the Saints injury report that we're going to cover with you momentarily. We got several other articles to get the breakdown that we're going to go over. And then ultimately, we're going to take a look at we're going to lead off and then head into some news items. I got 3 articles. And then we're going to get into breaking down who we need to watch out for the Chicago Bears football team, offensively speaking, and defensive side of the ball as well. We'll go over their depth chart as well, and we'll look into that as well today. So we'll get going with that because I still, in about 30 minutes, I want to be able to we'll get done with that in 30 minutes. Then we'll get into the commercial break. And on the other side of the commercial break, 2 hours of uninterrupted calls from the family members. So get ready for that. Pelicans Nola says, Q, we need to hear the Riven and come out tonight. We need to hear the Riven. The Riven and come out tonight. Okay, we need to hear the Riven. The Riven. I'm kind of lost on that one, bro. The Riven? All right, let me know what you mean there, Pelicans Nolas. Brian, who that says, what about Thomas might be getting traded? I sent you a video about that on your Facebook page. I got a couple of okay, thank you, Brian. I hadn't checked that yet, bro. I'll be really trying to stay on point, bro. You know, I be having a lot of stuff going on, but I always try to interact with the family members. I really do, man. I do a conscious effort to try to really do. Some people, they just think their head all swapped, but you don't have there's no power without the people, man. And you know, but I really do try to stay on that. So we'll keep it going, but give me a second. I'll share my screen with the family members. We'll get right into breaking that down as well, and we'll get right into it. So give me a second. Please hit the like button, family, if you hadn't hit the like button. And Reverend, okay, the Reverend, okay, thank you, Crass. I got you, Pelicans. No, we need to hear from the Reverend. Yeah, he was on the show yesterday, man. He was on the show yesterday. I mean, you might hear from the Rev a little later on. You might hear from the Reverend later on. You never know. He tends to pop in every now and again to give a shout out to the people. You know, to pray for people or whatnot. And that Reverend, I've been telling him, Rev, the people need some prayer, man. You need to get up there and talk to the people. He said he gonna make an appearance. He probably be today. You know, you never know with the Rev, man. You know, he got something to say. One or two things, he'll come and see you. So no doubt about it. Who that to you? Who that MVP? Who that to you as well? Big ups to you. Brock Pace, who that to you? Brock, good to see you in the chat as well, fam. Much love to the family members on this side of the show. So here we go, fam. We're going to share the screen. And we're going to get right into the Saints injury report. And we'll see what's going on with that, man. A lot of interesting stuff. Tragic, who that to you? Tragic 504. I see you, fam. Much love to you and big ups to you, fam. And this one, a pretty short injury report. The injury report before the weekend here as we approach the weekend. As you can see on here, the Saints have 4 listed players on the injury list, but, you know, not good news for Mike, as Mike was working his way back. He was limited Thursday and Friday, and they decided just to shut him down. We'll read an article on this. And I don't think there is no trading of Mike. I'm going to just put that out there because a lot of people are asking me about that. What's going to happen with Mike? Is the Saints going to trade Mike? And I said, of course they're not going to trade him. And what you mean by of course, Q? What I mean by of course is, how you going to trade somebody that's hurt? He gotta pass a physical. And that's number one. Number two, Mike Thomas is looking at it like this. Half the season is we're at the halfway point anyway of the season. The only thing Michael Thomas can do at this point is not worry about statistics or anything. All he needs to be concerned with at this point is helping the Saints get to the Super Bowl. That's all Mike needs to be concerned with. We don't need to worry about statistical stats or whatnot or catches and all that kind of stuff. Once he's able to get back in, the thought process is against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which is coming up. That's a good thing if you ask me. You know, he wasn't 100%. He's still kind of going at it a bit, but the new thinking is that he should be good to go against the Bucs, which he'll be really hungry against the Bucs, which is a good thing. He'll be a lot healthier. So, of course, he was dealing with the ankle injuries. He had the hamstring injuries. But Mike Thomas, this is a positive thing. Insofar as you don't get him out there and get him hurt or injured or something to that degree, that'd be foolish. So I'm not with the trade talk of this man. I'm not. I don't think he gets traded anywhere. How you going to trade somebody that's injured? I mean, seriously. They're not trading this man. They're not trading Mike. You can't trade an injured player. He has to pass a physical, and obviously he's not healthy, so how is he going to pass the physical? And then outside of that, he's more important to the Saints, on the Saints, because he's a major asset in helping the Saints get to the Super Bowl, and that's what it's really about. Let's just preference that. Right now, all we care about, we don't care about next year. We just care about winning the Super Bowl this year. That's how teams that have very old veterans think in terms of, they don't think in terms of years. It's all about right now. That's all it's concerned. I'm only concerned about winning the Super Bowl this year. And then we'll deal with everything we need to deal with after that's all said and done. There's no need for me to sit up here and worry about who the team's quarterback of the future is going to be if we can't win a Super Bowl this year. I'm more concerned, the priority is Super Bowl. Everything else is secondary or even thirdary. Bottom line, we don't care about if we need to collect assets to help the team get over the hump, not send them away. So I'm not for the Mike Thomas stuff. Big ups to you, Don. Who that to you, Don? Superstar Louisiana boy. Big ups to you and the rest of the family members in the chat that I didn't give a shout out yet. Big ups to you. Give me a who that and I give you a who that back. Also, let's move on. The next one here is Callaway. Marquez Callaway, the wide receiver, dealing with ankle issues as well. He did not practice Wednesday, but was limited both in Thursday and today's practice. His game status is out. So is Nick Easton, who's currently under the concussion protocol. So Easton is done. He'll return next week, along with Mike, and Terron Armstead is limited as well with an elbow issue, which a lot of people feel that Terron will more likely play. And to be honest with you, if you look at how Terron looked, he played well, but boy, you would rather see Terron, not 100% Terron in the game, than to see 100% Hurst in the game. Hurst almost got Drew killed last game, man. He almost got him killed. The only turnover of the game is when that sorry-ass offensive lineman allowed himself to get beaten and right around the side, and the guy just blew Drew up from the blind side and forced the fumble. That's the only turnover. But, we got to be mindful of that, man. It got to be a plan in place. Like, say, for instance, a plan in place where if something happens to Terron Armstead, we got to start training perhaps Ryan Ramczyk over there. You get me? You get me? Because we know eventually once Terron Armstead retires or leaves, that left tackle position is going to be the property of Ryan Ramczyk. We do know that, right? If they're smart, they would then, because your best offensive tackle is supposed to be the blindside guy, unless you draft a quarterback or bring a quarterback in that's left-handed. But in that case, maybe we need to look at that, kind of get Ryan Ramczyk ready. And if something happened to Terron Armstead, we put Ryan back there to protect his blind side, as opposed to have this Hurst guy to protect it. Because boy, he almost got Drew killed last game. That was pathetic. Sad Scott, who that to you, fam? I see you in the chat. Big ups to you, fam. And Smith, what up, Smith? It says Shreveport, Louisiana building. What up, S-Port in the building? Who that? The Cooper Road. The Cooper. How I go, fam? The Cooper Road. The Cooper Road. The Cooper Road, fam. Man, I was up there late in the 90s, man. I love Shreveport, man. Good food, man. Great people. You know what I'm saying? I was chilling in the bottoms. You know what I'm saying? Like in the heat of the night, they call it the bottoms. That's the place where a lot of poor people live at. They got the bottoms there. And then it's like, it's Shreveport something else, man. I think it's called Ledbetter Estates. That's something like Sanford was playing with it, Leadbelly, Pop, all that kind of stuff. But he was a musician or something back in the day. A lot of history in Shreveport, man. Love Shreveport, man. All right, let's keep it going, man. Big ups to the S-Port, Bossier City as well. Big ups to the family members chiming in there. All right, let's go on to the Chicago Bears injury report. Jimmy Graham say, I'm ready to go, Saints. I want some revenge. Jimmy's in the building. Khalil Mack was limited, although there are reports saying that he might not play this game. The injury report says he's limited and questionable, although remember, questionable, last year's questionable, or, okay, he say from Hollywood, all right. All right, limited practice for Khalil Mack. We'll see. Ted Ginn is fully rested. Well, we know we don't have to worry about Ted Ginn Jr. If he was as terrible as he was when he left us, he gonna help us. Cordell Patterson here with a quiet issue. Limited was questionable. Their top wide receiver is not going to play, which is Allen Robinson. So you might see Ted Ginn Jr. out there trying to make some plays happen. You know, Cody Whitehair is out, one of their offensive linemen. He's done. Cole Kmet, who's the backup behind Jimmy Graham, big tight end, could make plays. He fully practiced. Eddie Jackson was limited, but then he fully practiced. Jackson is one of these ball hawk safeties that's always making plays. Shedrick McManus is the safety, and then both offensive linemen, Rashard Coward and Jason Springs, will play. They fully practice. So all I could tell you is they look a lot better. They have some of their weapons back. Khalil Mack is not there. But then again, man, if Terron Armstead is not there like I would like to see Terron Armstead, boy, I'm having real issues worrying about what it looks like if you put Hurst, if you roll Hurst, and you can roll Hurst off into Hurst if he gets Drew Blue up like that again. Boy, I'll tell you what. Anyway, let's move on to the next article right here. And we're going to talk about ex-Saint Jimmy Graham. And these are several Saints players that's currently on the Bears roster that's looking for revenge. Jimmy Graham is on there. Akeem Hicks. You know, Akeem loved the Saints. He didn't want to get traded, and he's still upset about it. And it's been years. The only thing he did was become a top-notch defensive lineman for the Chicago Bears. Ted Ginn Jr. is there. And, of course, Mario Edwards Jr. is up there on the Bears roster. And Mario Edwards been making plays for them people, man. That defense definitely fits what he's done. And it's coming from Rod Walker here. There are familiar faces on the opposing sideline on Sunday when the Saints play the Bears. Former Saint tight end Graham, Hicks, Ted Ginn Jr., and Mario Edwards Jr. all up there. Graham and Hicks are both third-round picks by the Saints in 2010, and Hicks in 2012. Both players were eventually traded. Graham after the 2014 season, Hicks the following year. Bears coach Matt Nagy said he isn't concerned about Graham and Hicks being too amped for Sunday's game, saying, I'll say this, they're both two emotional guys, which I love. They are very passionate and they care, but they are old enough and wise enough to know they can't let that effort affect their play. I think what they'll do use it as a good motivator and a positive. You know Hicks is going to do that. He couldn't play the last game. He was hurt. But he's well enough to play this one, though. Graham ranks 5th in Saints history with 386 catches for 5,512 yards, 332 touchdowns. Wow. And Ginn and Edwards, meanwhile, were with the Saints last season. Ginn spent 3 seasons in New Orleans, and Edwards spent 1. Ginn has become the Bears' punt returner with Tariq Cohen suffering a season-ending injury in Week 3, and he's averaging about 5 yards per return. Keep that going, Ted, again. And he has since fielded since taking over those duties. Now, of course, with Allen Robinson out, you might see Ted Ginn Jr. in a starting capacity back there for the team. So it'll be interesting to see it's just how well these look with some of these ex-Saints on there looking for a little revenge, baby. All right, moving on. Of course, New Orleans Saints ruled out Thomas and Callaway for the matchup. So you'll see. Let me see if I can get this article to go. If not, we'll just move on. And this is from ESPN. So give me just a second for it. There we go. All right. All right. This is from Triplet. And he's talking about the Saints and Mike Callaway. After officially being ruled out for Week 8 receiving corps, Sander remain on the C-19 list. New Orleans will be without its top three of its top four wide receivers Sunday against the Bears. And what else is new? Remember, we missed on Callaway for this one. He was a big help. Somebody else just has to step up. All three could be back as early as next weekend's critical showdown against Tampa Bay. They will be. Thomas has been sidelined since Week 1 because of a high ankle sprain, team disciplinary inaction, and a hamstring issue that he suffered last week. He returned to practice field on a limited basis. Callaway, meanwhile, suffered an ankle injury during his breakout performance last weekend while Thomas and Sanders were out. The undrafted rookie caught 8 passes for 75 yards over the Carolina win. Callaway also practiced on a limited basis Thursday and Friday. In their absence, the Saints continue to rely on, of course, Alvin Kamara, Jerry Cook, Tre'Quan Smith stepping up. Deontay Harris had a nice game last week as well. They can also add up guys from the practice squad. Austin Carr is there. Juwan Johnson, who was activated, or Tommy Lee Lewis. And expect Austin Carr and Juwan Johnson to be activated. No doubt about it. You could see Tommy Lee there, too, because remember, So Austin Carr kick returns and punt returns as well. Tommy Lee Lewis does as well, although Tommy Lee doesn't have any vision in the return game, and he runs right full speed into the back of his blockers, his own blockers. I never understood that. But Jawan Johnson is interesting to see him get an opportunity to shine. Huge wide receiver, big physical wide receiver to see what he can do against the Chicago Bears defense. We'll love to see that in there. Okay, the Saints 4-2 have won 3 straight despite their depleted wide receiver core. As always, baby, as always, you got to rely on the running game. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it again. And I'm going to say it again. You're missing 3 of your top 4 wide receivers, but you're not missing none of your running backs. Did you hear me, baby? Did you hear that, baby? All right. And Breeze passing offense, wide receiver. Well, Breeze passing offense finding a better rhythm by the week. They converted 12 of 14 third down attempts and never punted in last week's win over Carolina. But you beat them by 3 points, baby. Don't try to dress it up, baby. You ain't punt the whole game, but you still only beat a team that's still in your offense by a field goal, and they missed the field goal. Don't try to dress it up, man. Come on with that nonsense, bro. All right, and big ups to our family members over there at the Saints News Network. This is from Brother Kyle T. Mosley. Much love to you. He said the Saints defense will face top third down and red zone offenses. Here we go. New Orleans Saints will still have several of their top, he says, will still have several top third down converting and red zone offenses in the NFL on their schedule. And of course, he shared a tweet from Jeff Duncan saying the Saints defense is ranked 7th in total defense, 328.3, 4th in the rushing with 89.7, 25th in scoring with 29 points per game, bottom 5, right? 29th in third down with 50.6, 32nd in red zone defense. They are the worst team in the NFL in red zone defense, 86.3. That's 19 of 22 times that people have converted on the Saints. They've been in the red zone 22 times and has given up 19 touchdowns in it. That's 86.3. The total defense ranking does not take into account the 363 penalty yards. So it's really ridiculous. And then, of course, Brother Kyle says the alarming stats were 29th, third down on the third downs, 32nd, which is the red zone defense. Not horrible, but horrific. They're not a Halloween. He says there's not a Halloween play on words. But Dennis Allen must find answers to what's plaguing the defense in these teams in the 2 areas. If not, the Saints' playoff hopes and Super Bowl dreams will quickly turn into screaming nightmares. He said, let's examine a few of the Saints' opponents' offenses. Third down and red scoring effectiveness. Third down conversions and red zone scoring. You look at the third down conversions for the Bears. It's 36.35 on third downs. And then you look at the red zone offense scoring 52% of the time, is that? 52.6. The Buccaneers are 43.8, 82 on third down. And in the red zone scoring 78% of the time. That's ridiculous. 49ers are 42% on third down. Red zone scoring 69% of the time. The Falcons are 44% on third down. And then they're 58% in the red zone. Vikings 37 on third down, 75% in the red zone, 48% by the Chiefs, and that's almost 49% by the Chiefs, and a blistering 65% of the times they're scoring in the red zone. Those are horrible numbers, man. If you're the Saints defense, that is. According to team rankings, the best third down in NFL are the Saints, followed by the Bills, which are 52%, the Steelers are 51%, Packers 50%, Raiders are 48.8%. The Packers are the only NFC team in the top 5. Green Bay defeated New Orleans back in week 3, 37-30. Saints sit at the top of the NFC with a 7.3 third down conversions per, third down conversions per game. Next is the Falcons, and so on and so forth. The league's best team in red zone scoring is Seattle with a blistering 85%. That's absolutely insane. Now, New Orleans may not face either if they reach the playoffs, but teams will test the Saints defense in week 10. The Niners, week 16, Vikings. The advantage of the Saints is both games will be inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome with fans in the stands. Saints could meet the Bucks, Seattle Cardinals, or Packers in the 2020 and 2021 NFC playoffs. The best offensive squads at scoring touchdowns in 2020 are Seattle with 4.5 per game, Green Bay 4 game, Bucks 3.9, Titans 3.8, Chiefs 3.7, so on and so forth, and are left to face the Saints. More defense concerns for the Saints. Here are a few stats through week 7, which New Orleans defense allows in 2020 at this point. 5.4 yards per play, that's 11th in the NFL. And then there's 50.62% on the third down conversions. 1.2 fourth down conversions, that's third worst. At 70, almost 78% converted. 11 yards per completion, that's 21st. And then 0.8 takeaways in the game, that's good for 26. So you're not stopping them. You're not forcing any turnovers. It's just bad no matter how you make it. See, the numbers don't lie. Most of the Saints' defensive numbers, and let me highlight some of this because Brother Kyle really put up a great and compelling number. Numbers don't lie. The most of the Saints' defensive numbers are in the middle of the NFL. Not bad, but not great for a team contending for a run at the Super Bowl. Suppose they cannot become more opportunistic in creating turnovers or limiting the passing first downs. In that case, the team may be looking at another unsatisfying playoff exit in January if they earn a berth. Remember, this year, only one team per conference will get a first-round bye week. I said that. We talked about that. At the moment, it appears the Saints are nipping at Seattle. You look at Green Bay, Arizona, Chicago, Tampa, heels for the lone spot. Can the Saints defense correct their ills and make a turnaround down the stretch of this season? We shall see. So I'd like to thank Brother Kyle T. Mosley with a fantastic article. Big ups covering. Isn't that some stats to wake your tail up? All right, now let's get into it, family. Let's move now into the talk now about what we're looking at in terms of what we're facing with the Chicago Bears team. Let's look at some of the statistics up for us, and at first, let's look at this as well. Now, of course, the matchup pins the Saints are 4-2, 1-1 in the way. The Bears are 5-2, 2-1 at home. This will be at 3:25 on Sunday, so afternoon game. Saints up in Chi-Town. You can see the predictor have the Saints winning 61.2% in the power index. We don't pay attention to that. Drew Brees' numbers as it stands, 154 of 212 for 16-18, 11 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Pretty damn good numbers for a 41-year-old quarterback. I have to keep saying that because that's impressive to be 41 years old in the NFL and have over 1,600 passing yards, 11 touchdowns, and only 3 interceptions. Pretty good. Nick Foles, 123 for 192, 1139, 6 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Topsy-turvy land with Nick Foles. You never know what you're going to get. Even though they responded to Nick Foles. They've started winning games with him, and his veteran skills help out. And, of course, Nagy is familiar with him. That's why he went and traded for him, because he knew he can run that system. Alvin Kamara, the top back for the Saints, he has 75 carries for 364 yards, 4 touchdowns. Their top back is Montgomery, who's a pretty good back in his own right. Dave Montgomery, 96 carries on the year for 353 and 1 touchdown. You got to watch this kid. But Montgomery's good. I like Montgomery, him and Singletary. They mirror each other. They kind of almost the same back, although I think Singletary is a little bit better catcher of the ball out the backfield than Dave Montgomery is. But I like Singletary from Buffalo and Montgomery. These are two really interesting young backs. Then, of course, the Saints' top receiver, as it stands, is Alvin Kamara, 46 catches, 460 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Kamara is the top rushing back and the top receiver on the team, having a really awesome season. Alvin Kamara is having a great season. Allen Robinson is their top threat, 44 catches for 544 yards, only 2 touchdowns, catching the ball. And Allen Robinson more than likely will not play in this game. He was listed on the injury report as not going to be able to play as well. He's questionable. They have him questionable here, and we'll see, man. But a lot of people saying he's probably not going to play. But it's a big game for Chi-Town. They want to be able to beat the Saints and keep their position in. It's just what it is. As you can see the injury reports right here. Easton, Thomas, and Callaway are out, as it shows right here. You look at the injury status right here with some of this, and we covered a lot of this on the injury report early in the broadcast. Now, getting to the numbers. Let's talk about the numbers. All right, points per game, you're looking at the Saints averaging a blistering 30 points a game, which is good. The only problem is they're giving up 29 of them. So it's tough for you as a team to average 30 points a game, but the defense is giving up 29 points per game. That's horrible, man. order to be a Super Bowl team, don't you realize you have to have this number cut in half at least? If the Saints can somehow cut that number in half, it's a whole nother world. It is absolutely amazing that we're 4-2 if you look at these statistics. And of course, statistics aren't everything, correct? Except for the ones we just read from the previous article by Kyle Mosley, showing how terrible the Saints defense is in the red zone. 22 times in the red zone, 19 of 22. That is absolutely horrible and a damn shame. But you keep marching them same guys out there. Points per game for the Chicago Bears, almost 20 points per game, but they're giving up 20 points per game. Boy, that's something else. And they're 5-2. That is amazing. But it goes to show you that a lot of this happened early in the season, horrible numbers. And sooner or later, it'll start to normalize itself. But, we can't be fooled by those numbers. The Saints are averaging on offense almost 395. Might as well round it off at 395 yards per game. The Chicago Bears is 327 a game right there. And, of course, we're going to look at what they do. The Saints 276 yards through the air flat, and they rush at 119 yards per contest. Pretty good. What do the Bears do? The Bears are 243 through the air, and they rush at 84 yards per contest, which we know the Saints have the ability to shut your run down and force Nick Foles to beat you. But Nick Foles will throw to deep guys if you let him. He will throw the ball down the field on you. And trust and believe, they studied the Saints secondary and know that that's how you attack the Saints. They haven't got the secondary together. They know it, and we know it. Yards allowed, almost 345 yards per contest the Saints are giving up. That's absolutely wretched. 255 of it they're giving up through the air. And a great mixture right here, as you can see. It's like night and day. The Saints stopping and holding teams to less than 90 yards per rushing game. Rushing it per game, they're holding you under 90 yards per game. And then you look at the passing, you can see how people are moving the ball against the Saints. It is clearly through the secondary. 255. You look at the Bears, they give you 336 yards. 236.4. And then they'll let you run almost 120 yards per contest, which suits us just fine because we can get that anyway. So, once again, what does this show you? Looking at statistics and being intelligent people, if we look at the statistics, the Saints right here is telling you, these are the statistics, up-to-date statistics. The Saints are averaging 119 yards per rushing game. Per game. It's 119 yards per game. The Chicago Bears allow 120 yards a game. Okay? All right, let's look at that. You get 119, they give up 120. You get 119, they give up 120. My thing is they're going to focus on stopping you throwing the ball. But if you running the ball and then force them to then compensate, you can then get double digits. You can beat this team by 10. It's the same thing all over again. It stopped me if it sounds like Groundhog Day, because I sit up here every Friday breaking the game down, showing the statistics and saying, listen, this team's Achilles heel is they cannot stop the run. They're giving up 120 yards on the ground per contest. The Saints average 119 yards rushing per game. If you run the ball, odds are you can beat this team and dominate and control the clock and keep their offense off the field, keep your defense off the field, and win the game quite handily on the Chicago Bears in their own building. Run the ball. We don't have to go in and throw the damn ball. We can beat this team running. They can't stop the run. They give up 120 yards a game. All right, let's keep it going. Last 5 contests for the Bears. They're coming off that loss to the Rams 24-10, so they got a sour taste in their mouth. They're trying to win it. Prior to that, they beat Carolina and Tampa Bay by 1, as you can see there. And, of course, the last 3 contests, the Saints had wins against Detroit 35-29. They barely beat the Chargers in overtime and then the Cardiac Cats, which I guess that's our new name, watching the Saints play. That's the last 3. But like I said, I'm going to document it. Looking at the statistics, the Bears cannot stop the run. They're giving up 120 yards on the ground. The Saints average 119 yards rushing the ball. That's right in line. That's like one of them games where you connect the lines and you go, okay, we're going this line, go with this right here. That's exactly what this is. Now let's go to the depth chart right here and look at some of the statistics of some of these guys who you need to pay attention to. We talked about David Montgomery being the top rusher on the team. He's the guy that helps balance the show. About 50 yards per game he rushes. And through 7 games, you see his statistics right here, averaging just under 4 yards a rush. They're going to try to balance the rushing attack by using young David Montgomery. Tariq Cohen is another interesting player who would usually come in to try to help, being that he's on the IR. That won't help you, but running the ball is important in Chicago. Remember, they're a running defensive type of team that all of a sudden they like to try to throw the ball and create the balance. Nick Foles is doing a good job. He's not terrific, but he's serviceable. He's still learning the Chicago Bears offensive playbook, but they're dealing with issues as well. That's a big blessing for the Saints secondary that Allen Robinson, who's their best receiver, isn't there. 44 catches off of 70 targets. He has 544 yards and a couple of touchdowns. He's not going to be available, but Darrell Mooney is. And Mooney's a young wide receiver who's trying to pick up the slack. 21 catches from 37 targets. He averages about 11 yards per catch, 1 touchdown there. But make no bones about it. 2 guys that we need to really kind of look out for, the state of least. Jimmy Graham is going to be the major thing with Allen Robinson possibly not playing in this contest. Jimmy Graham, 27 catches on 44 targets, 234, averaging about 9 yards per catch. He has 4 touchdowns, and that's more reception touchdowns than any other guy has on the Chicago Bears club. He's the guy you got to look out to. And this Anthony Miller kid is another dude I want to put a spotlight on. So if Allen Robinson, who's one of the key people I want to talk about, according to the reports we're showing, he's not supposed to play this game, but we'll see. Jimmy Graham is a guy you got to look out for. We got to look out for Jimmy Graham in this contest. We are familiar with Jimmy Graham, a red zone weapon, and what he could do. Remember, he tears you up in the red zone. The Saints suck in the red zone. This seemed like a match made in hell to me. But Anthony Miller is another guy you got to watch out for with Allen Robinson out. And, of course, they using Mooney a lot, but Miller is a guy that's talented. He's a very talented guy, 19 catches on 31 targets. And you could possibly look out a speedster like Anthony Miller to sneak in there and try to do some stuff as well. So not too many weapons I want to really talk about. Nick Foles still learning the system. He will take shots down the field. And guys that can really run that routes, Anthony Miller, guys like that, he's going to, and Nick Foles you can blitz Foles and beat him up. Foles is tough. He is. He'll take a shot, stand up, go back there and throw a touchdown on your ass. So we have to keep the pressure on Nick Foles. We can't let him stand tall in there. We got to give him confusing looks. I don't know how you. We got to give him something to confuse him. We got to be able to get pressure on Nick Foles because he will give you an interception. He's thrown 6 of them. He has 6 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. He got a little gunslinger in him, and we can get an interception out of him. We got to stop David Montgomery, which I know we can. But the issue is we have to silence guys like Jimmy Graham. The number one thing, if Allen Robinson isn't going, is definitely Jimmy Graham. We've got to watch out for Jimmy Graham. We've been looking like crap against the tight end lately, and we're crappy in the red zone. We're giving up touchdowns in the red zone. Jimmy Graham thrives in that environment. Other wide receivers that you have to pay attention to is young Darnell Mooney. You got to watch out for this young kid. And Anthony Miller. These guys are guys you have to pay attention to. Not to mention they do use their second tight end, Cole Kmet, as well. So you got to watch out for him sneaking out of there. So like I said, we just got to pay attention, man, and do the best we could do. Defensive-wise for the Bears, Roquan Smith is their top dog. He's 44 total actually 60 tackles on the season, 7.5 of them for a loss. He's the guy that gets around the field. Eddie Jackson's another fantastic safety for him. He does a lot of good work for him. He has a total of 41 tackles on the season. You got guys like Danny Trevathan with 41 tackles. Tip Gibson is Tashawn Gibson is their other safety back there. Hicks should be able to play. He has 3.5 sacks on the year. Khalil Mack, who some saying won't go, some saying he will. I don't know if he will or he won't. But if he does, you got to watch out for him. He's their top sacker. The guy has 5.5 sacks so far. So you got to watch out for guys that's doing it like that. So the defense, man, listen. Like I'm saying, this team is a team that's struggling with a lot. They are. The quarterback is struggling, as you can tell. Completing 64% of his passes. He only averages about 6 yards per game per throw, which is really low. About 228 yards per game is what he does. He's been sacked 8 times. He's thrown 6 interceptions and 6 touchdowns. What that's telling me is that he is topsy-turvy. You can confuse him, you get to him, beat him up, and he will turn the ball over on you. So it should be one of those games where the Saints should be able to give Foles some looks to confuse him a bit and get pressure to Foles. You can't let him stand back up there and throw the ball, and we got to cover up the tight ends to the best of our ability. No, it's the same stuff. It's the same stuff. So if we take a look at the depth chart for the Chicago Bears, this is what it looked like. Nick Foles at the quarterback. David Montgomery is there. Allen Robinson, they're saying is questionable, although we don't think he's going to go. Darnell Mooney, I warned you about young Darnell Mooney. They like this kid a lot, young wide receiver. And Anthony Miller, who has deep threat capabilities as well. Also, Calvin Ridley's brother, Riley Ridley, is on his squad. Although I don't know, you might see him, probably Ted Ginn Jr. more if Allen Robinson is not good to go. Jimmy Graham is their tight end, but backup tight end, when they do go to 2 tight ends, is Cole Kmet. Offensive line is Leno, Bars, Cody Whitehair, who is out for the game, so they'll have an issue with their starting lineup. Who starts? It might be this guy, Mustapher, behind him. Jermaine Ifedi is at the other guard position, and Big Bobby Massey is on the other side. They run a 3-4 scheme with Hicks there, Bilal Nichols, Roy Robertson Harris, and then Khalil Mack is questionable, but if he goes, he goes. Roquan Smith is in the center, Danny Trevathan, and with Robert Quinn is another dude you got to watch out for. They gave him a big fat contract, and Quinn could get to the passer. You got to watch out because this team is opportunistic and rushing the passer. They got pass rushers all over the place. Hicks is an absolute wildebeest, so watch out for him tearing up the offensive line. Khalil Mack, even at 100, even not at 100%, Mack is dangerous. And then, of course, Robert Quinn is there. So they have an interesting mix of pass rushers. We got to account for secondary. Eddie Jackson is questionable, but although there are reports saying he'll play, Tip Gibson is there. Kyle Fuller is there. Jalen Johnson. Nothing special with their secondary, but they're opportunistic. Place kicker is Carlos Santos. Pat O'Donnell is the punter. Kick returner is Cordell Patterson. But even though Cordell Patterson is the kick returner, you'll see Teddy Ginn Jr. also in there helping out if Darnell Mooney's not doing it. So they have speed young guys. You got to watch out for those speedy young guys, too, to be able to cover them up. But Allen Robinson can't go there. It'll be a blessing to help the Saints out. But like I said, we got to be mindful of these guys like Mooney and Miller. These young wide receivers have speed, and they're decent. Jimmy Graham's a weapon. Saints hadn't been able to cover the tight end too well. He's a red zone weapon. He thrives in the red zone. That's all terrible news for the Saints. They have to step the game up, because Chicago is going to look to utilize Jimmy Graham if Allen Robinson can't go. I'm just keeping the trail with you. All right, and just to go quickly over our notes that we covered before we go into our break, we broke down and covered the Saints injury report showing you that Ken Guard Mike and Marquez Callaway and Nick Easton are not good to go. Teron Armstead with an elbow is probably going to go. We covered that on the Saints injury list. We covered the story Jimmy Graham, Hicks, and Ginn and Mario Edwards are on the Bears roster, and they are looking for some revenge. We also covered the story about Mike Thomas and Callaway not being able to play. We also went to Brother Kyle T. Mosley. Saints defense will face top third down and red zone offenses. We read that was pretty interesting. We covered the Bears depth chart and broke down who's playing. And so you guys know the Bears roster right now. We went over the statistics about what they do per game, Saints and the Bears. And we also looked at the team statistics for the Bears team, so to know exactly who these guys are and what they're about. Now you're familiar with the Bears. Now you know your enemies. Now you guys are on point like we always do every damn Friday. It don't change. It's the same thing over and over again. The Saints have to handle business against this team. Ain't no doubt about it. Bottom line, we got to take care of business. We got to handle business. The secondary is on. The secondary, listen, man. The secondary, y'all better step y'all asses up on this one here. Let me just tell you something. You got to step your way up. But anyway, family, I'm going to Ricky Jones, who that to you, Ricky. Good to see you in the chat. Big ups to Ricky. Darrell Freeman, who that to you, Darrell. I see your family. Big ups to you. Pat Thompson, who that to you, Pat. Good to see you in the chat as well. Let's see who else we got here that I didn't give a shout out when I was rolling on. Soda Sopa, who that to you? Thank you for joining us today, fam. Big ups to you. As well, Lance Kelly, who that to you? Good to see you in the chat as well. Big ups to you, fam. And who else we got? I think that's everybody. If I didn't give you a shout out, give me a shout out. A true Louisiana, who that to you, fam? I'll see you in the chat as well. So if I didn't give you a shout out, give me a who that, and I'll give you a who that back. Now, family, we're going to go into our commercial break. When we turn on the other side of the break, I'll open up the phone lines and have the family members to chime in and get their thoughts and concerns on the team, as we'll go 2 hours straight up until about 8:30, and we're gonna be collecting y'all calls. So y'all call when we come back off the break. We'll be taking calls. So get yourself together. Who that to you, Saints? Booming. I see you, fam. Thank you for chiming in. Who that to you as well. And we'll be back, family. Damone, what up, Damone? And we'll be back after this commercial break with your calls. Who that? Remington Tax Solutions is a company that, together with their partners, provide virtual tax consultation and preparation for individuals, small business, and nonprofit. They also provide notary and a host of other business-related services for their clients. Their associates provide a systematic yet very client-centered approach to their services. They offer the industry knowledge and insight to help solve your most complex tax issues. At Remington, their currency is time, the one resource that cannot be replenished. For that reason, they utilize the simplest and most effective forms of technology to make their services faster and more efficient. No need to wait in the office until your taxes are completed. Simply upload your documents via the Taxes to Go app or via their client portal, and they'll take care of the rest. Remington Tax Solutions is a member of the National Association of Tax Professionals and participates in the IRS Annual Filing Season Program, which is a voluntary tax education program to stay abreast of the ongoing changes in tax legislation. Remington Tax Solutions has a strong connection to the communities in which they serve. It is a part of their mission to make a positive impact on the lives of their neighbors. So, if you're looking for a reliable, effective, and trustworthy tax preparation service, Remington Tax Solutions is the business for you. Contact Remington Tax Services at their number 682-307-4410 or simply go to remingtontax.com. That's remingtontax.com. Remington Tax Service, virtual tax preparation for the individual and small business. Live clean, eat cleaner. The only natural and patented produce wash. Eat Cleaner is a tasteless, odorless, and lab-tested line of food wash and wipes that is up to 99.9% more effective than water in cleaning wax. The only natural, patented produce wash in a 14-day study, applying Eat Cleaner all-natural fruit vegetable wash to a variety of fruit and 100 pure guaranteed vegetables. Also prolongs shelf life up to 5 times longer through a natural blend of fruit acids and antioxidants. This can help save your family on average of over $500 per year, reducing waste and making it easy to get your half plate of fruit and vegetables each day. Eat Cleaner offers a wide variety of solutions for food safety and shelf life extension for consumers, retailers, food service, and operators. USDA bio-based, OMRI listed for use on organic produce, non-GMO, vegan, gluten-free, made in the USA, lab-proven, and patented. So if you want cleaner fruits and veggies, try Eat Cleaner. Check the link in the description section below.
Tea is your escape. It's your opportunity to create a moment for stillness, for reflection, for yourself. It's your connection to a world of senses, flavors both exotic and familiar, energizing and relaxing. It's your retreat from an increasingly turbulent world. It's the perfect paradox of simplicity and complexity. Teabox.com connects tea to people, uniting the richest flavors of the finest teas with the curious, the cultivated, and the adventurous all over the world. The freshest tea you've ever tasted, from crop to cup. There's simply no simpler way to experience the wonderful complexity of tea. Teabox, packing up the freshness. Tea thrives on freshness, and so do they. T-Box temperature and humidity control facility ensure that tea is maintained. The teas themselves go into oblique bags with aluminum layers that protect them from excess moisture and light. With T-Box, shopping for fresh, loose leaf tea is easy because you make an informed purchase. You know exactly where your tea is coming from. So for the freshest teas in the world, check out tbox.com. That's right, tbox.com. Check the link in the description section below.
Are you a boxing fan? Check out Ring Kings Boxing only on the PRO Media Network.
The Kleins family has been getting people to go nuts for old nuts since 1995. As legends have it, a number of the Kleins friends who heard the idea said you can go nuts trying to name a store like that. In the excitement, the Kleins thought their friends said old nuts instead of go nuts and proceeded to throw caution to the wind. Old Nuts has over 2,000 items, bulk and wholesale prices of a whole lot of your favorite fruits, nuts, and confections. A selection of gift baskets for any budget, any occasion, and provides one of the best and impressively rated shopping experiences on the web. Fact is, between their selection, service, speed, or their online presence in the virtual mirror retail experience, they have developed an enviable client base that's comprised of personal and professional customers who count on their remarkable range of gift baskets. Think of gift basket, think about Old Nuts. Check them out, oldnuts.com. Check the link in the description section below.
Go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers.
Tiger talk.
Go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers.
Tough Tiger talk.
Go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers.
Tough Tiger talk. Family, thank y'all for staying with us on this episode of the Sports Coma. Big ups to the family members chiming in the live stream. Big ups to you and Yearns. As we come back to deal with the Sports Coma, big ups to the family members that's involved in the show. Thank y'all. Charles Winston, who that to you? Sport Talk 365, who that to you, fam? Good to see you in the chat as well. Big ups to you, Charles Winston, Rush Hour, and all the family members joining the show. Brother Dada, what's up, fam? Good to see you in the chat as well. And big ups to all the family members that's chiming in on this episode of the Sports Coma. Now, family, we're going to get an opportunity now to kind of jump into the opening up of the phone line so we can get reaction from the family members, their thoughts on what we need to do to come out with the win against the Chicago Bears. And like I said, man, this is going to be one of those games where if you're the Saints, to me, as far as I'm concerned, it just sits like one of those games where you just have to run the ball, man. I mean, the truth of the matter is, it's the same thing. These teams are really weak against the run, and the Saints have to do what they got to do to simply cash in on that. You know, that's just the bottom line. I don't know how to say it any more than that.
But then again, that message hasn't really changed too much, has it? I've been basically saying that for a while right now, is that we could beat these teams if we run the ball, we could take the life out of these teams. So big ups to the rest of the family members. Hold them Hook TV, who that to you, fam? Good to see you in the chat as well. Money Johnson, what up, Money? What's good with it? Wallace Smith, who that to you as well. Good to see the family members. Big ups to y'all. Please hit upon the like button, family. If you hadn't hit it, do me that service and hit the like button. Live lines are activated, 504-475-4482. The live lines are activated, 504-475-4482. Who that to you, Javier? Big ups to you, fam. Good to see you in the chat as well. He said it's going to be a tough one. It possibly can be. Pretty much all of them been tough, huh? We haven't really beaten anybody significantly like we would want them to beat them, except for maybe a little difference with the Tampa Bay game with the Saints, where they were able to beat Tampa Bay. But really, if you look at it, man, you know, it's just I would like to really see the games. And I know you're going to get some of these close matchups. You beat Tampa Bay 34-23 in week 1. You have not been able to duplicate that success since word. After that, you lose to Vegas, who Tampa Bay beat by 20. You lose to Las Vegas by 10. You come back, you lose to Green Bay by 7 in back-to-back outings. You beat Detroit 35-29. Then you turn around and then you win a contest against the Chargers and the Panthers. To the Chargers with 30-27 in overtime. To the Panthers, it was 27-24 toward the back end of the game. And we are now sitting at 4-2. We got a 5-1 Bear Club, a 5-2 Bear Club that we're taking on here, that we need to bat down. We need to bat the Bears down big time, because we're going to be in beating Chicago, and they're trying to be in the playoff hunt. Right now, they're sitting second behind Green Bay. No doubt about it. We got to take care of business against this team. No doubt about it. So the live lines open, family. 504-475-4482. Live lines are open for you guys to chime in. Looking at what the Saints are doing from a passing game perspective, you know, it's really something else. They're going against the Bears. The Bears are offense. They average almost just 20 points a game. That's like 27th in the NFL. You know, they allow 20 points a contest. That's 26 in the NFL. They rush at 84 yards per contest. That's dead last in the NFL. So they're not a good rush attack. They're 25th in throwing the ball. So I mean, I don't understand how this should be in any way a difficult matchup for the black and gold. If they run the ball, this could very well, we could beat the Bears by double digits. They've been really on the cusp of being shellacked. You know, and I think if the Saints handle this right, we can smash the Bears and have a big confidence win going up against Tampa Bay. And we can keep this thing rolling. I can see us, if we handle it right, we can go on an 8 to 9 game tearing. We can go on an 8-game tear. We really can. If we can find a way, we can start trusting our running game. And I think that's a part of it. Trusting the running attack. If we could trust the running attack more than what we trust in it, we can beat teams a lot finer than what we're doing. We really can, and that's just my analysis. Anyway, big ups to the family members. Nola E74 said, I don't see it happening. I mean, because we don't have much confidence in Sean Payton. I'm going to keep it real with you. Sean Payton, you know, you got really bad teams that you're running up against, bro. And I don't blame you for saying that you don't see it, bro. You know, I'm just going to keep it real with you, fam. But the reality at the end of the day is, man, listen. We could beat these teams a lot worse than what we're doing. Running the ball, and like I showed you, this team is not a very good run-stuffing team. They allow 120 yards on the ground per game. So why try to go in there trying to throw the ball? Run the ball, establish the run, make it a threat, then throw the ball after they shift resources to stop the run. Just saying. Ken Ross of Bloodstone, who that to you, fam? Good to see you in the chat, bro. Big ups. All right, live lines open, family, just to let y'all know. All questions in the chat. We'll have the live lines open to about right before 8:30 today. So it worked out really well. So the family member can chime in on the chat. Nola East says, we already know Peyton's going to get away from the run game like he do every game. Isn't that silly? Isn't that stupid? Don't you realize, family, that we supposed to be 5-0 at this juncture of time? If we'd have ran the ball consistently against the Raiders, we'd have beat the Raiders. The Raiders were not a difficult challenge. It was, if the Saints would have did what they were supposed to do, we would ultimately beat them and the Green Bay Packers. If we'd have stuck to the run, it was a terror. In the last 13 minutes of the game, the Saints threw 15 times straight. You tell me any justification for that. The media didn't get on for it. They had one dude wrote an article about it, and he almost apologized his way into writing the damn article. How do you placate the people when they're doing wrong? I mean, I just don't understand that, man. But you will elevate them when they do right, but you placate them in wrongdoing, and you know they're doing wrong, but you don't have the courage to even call them out. And I'm not telling you, and some listen, and I'm not gonna lie to you, they got people, you know, that's in places that are just cowards, man. That's just what they, and not all of them are, but you know they got cowards. People you work with that are cowards. They talk a mean game, but when it come down to it, they ain't nowhere to be found. They're cowards. And they're quick to back out. That's just how they came up. It's just a part of the coward gene that's in them. But they ain't like a brave like a lot of people that would say, listen, what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. And I won't stand with wrong. If you're doing wrong, I'm going to call you out. And that's what we do. You think if the dude he call up here, you think I'm going to shift my message don't change. And I've told you already that they listen. The players listen, the coaches listen. But the thing is, the truth gets out there, man, regardless of how you try to pretend it don't exist. You know, we're vindicated because our message does not change. It's the same message. And we're growing because people understanding that now. If people saying, Q, you opened my eyes about this dude, bro. I wasn't even looking at it like that. But that's true. And I'm like, bro, that's what it's always been. But sometimes it's like that. You know, sometimes we need an alternative view. We need a different view, a different vantage point of this thing. And that's what this represents. Instead of everybody placating to a guy that's just full of shit. You know, I'm just going to call it like it is, man. It's bull. All right, family. Any questions, concerns in the chats? Big ups to you. I'm going to go down the chat and read something. We got live lines are open. 504-475-4482. 504-475-4482. 504-475-4482. Ricky Jones, who that to you? Live lines activated. William Dickerson says Rams were limited also that week before they played against the Chargers. Allen been DMP'd all week. All right, thank you for that. Jermaine says Patterson can torch you in many ways. He's a mean returner. I know that about Cordell Patterson. He's a pretty darn good return. They use him in the speed game as well. There was a time when the Saints were looking at Patterson, but they didn't sign him. And I was like, man, but it's good. We got Deontay, so I guess that one worked out. Crash says, insert Swearinger to deliver a snot bubble early. I'd be okay with a flag. We need a tone setter as safety. Be prepared to pay the price across the middle. That's true. That's what it is, and I agree with you, bro. All right. All right, Fab, thanks for calling the Sports Coma. Who's on the line?
What's that, Q?
What's up, bro?
That Hold'em Hook TV, baby.
What's up, Mike? How you doing, bro?
What's going on, man?
I'm good, bro.
What's going on,
I can't complain at all, my brother. How you feeling?
Hey, I'm doing good. How you doing? Everything good over there with you?
Yes, sir. We not complaining, bro. Making out like a champ, bro. We all gravy.
Yeah,
how about
man.
you, bro? How y'all family made out, bro?
We good, man. We good. You know, I'm up in Atlanta, so
okay.
We got a lot of wind, man. But my mom and I called my mom and them back home in New Orleans. They said they didn't get a lot of rain. They got a lot of wind. That storm that brought a lot of wind, man, more than anything. There's a lot of wind.
Right.
Yeah, so that's what the damage coming up to. But anyway, all right, let's get to this game, man. I heard a couple of people call me yesterday. It was like, well, Ted getting out there in Chicago. He ain't doing nothing. Yeah, he ain't doing nothing till he play us Sunday.
Yeah, that seems to be the method. There's that all of a sudden he grow a game.
All of a sudden he gonna turn to all pro for that game, huh? But,
that's what they always do. Though.
Crazy, man. You know us, Q. With our luck with the football, man. That's just how it be sometimes, man. But what I was thinking was the thing I think that might save us is the wind. The wind gonna be kind of high, so they're saying 27 gust winds, but that wind gonna stay about in the 20s, man, the whole game. It's gonna be really, really, really windy out there.
Okay.
So I'm thinking that might save us with a lot of the deep passes. You know, might kind of have the secondary, or it might make Nick Foles hold on to the ball a little bit longer. But I'm really seeing. I'm looking on this game here. I'm really looking on the positive side on this game. I really do think that this is gonna come down to a running game on both sides of the ball. And I think that we really could match up really, really good with Chicago when it comes to the run. I know they got Khalil Mack, and I know their defense is pretty good. But if Sean Payton, if he just run, man, look, any team, if you're running the ball, eventually, man, they're gonna wear down a little bit. No matter who it is, you know. But you have to run the ball. Now I don't know if Michael. Did you hear anything about Michael Thomas? Q? Is he playing or?
No, he out. Him
and he out again.
Yeah, Callaway and him out.
Well, I think Callaway gonna do pretty good, man. I think Callaway gonna do pretty good, you know, in this game here. I ain't gonna get too negative. I know we ain't been really winning these games how everybody really wants to win. But you gotta think, man, a win is a win. You know, and everybody talking about Tampa. I really don't really care how we winning the games right now. I just know we better keep winning. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, you don't want to let Tampa pull too far ahead of us in the standing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, and like I said, Brady throwing that ball. Hey, man, people forget he's 43 too. He older than Drew. When it come down to week 12 and week 13 and, you know, I mean, that all going to start to – listen, what I'm saying is everybody was talking about Drew, how Drew looked at the end of the season. Well, Tom Brady been looking the same way, man, every year too, the last 2 years. Yeah, he's been doing the same thing that Drew been doing. You know, he gets toward the end of the season. I mean, you know, it's wear and tear. I mean, so I think he's going to kind of tie it down too. But what I do think he pushes the ball a little bit further down the field. But he's always had a bigger arm than Drew. Anyway, so, you know, people, you know, I listen to something, man. What gets on my nerve, man, some of these these people that sit on these sports shows, like these guys I know that you really don't like, half of them may never play sports a day in their life. You know, and they sit here and they talk about, you know, these games like they really know what they're talking about. And then when they might say something about a team, and then as soon as they go the other way, well, he had a great game. But you just say the man was gonna play like shit, you know, yesterday. But now the man had a good game, so now you on it. But I think Callaway gonna have a good game. I think this is gonna be a Jared Cook game. I think they're gonna go to him a lot. Of course, they're gonna go through Kamara, but Sean Payton gonna have to run that ball, man. He's gonna have to run the ball with Latavius Murray, man. Not just Alvin Kamara. He's gonna have to run that ball with Latavius. Latavius gonna have to get some carries. And then the thing too, they got that big fullback. Why he not using that fullback, man?
Bro,
why?
I don't know, bro. I don't know what's going on with him. I was often saying that he could save the position and give it to an extra defensive lineman by converting Dwayne Washington a fullback.
He sure not using it unless, like I said, unless everybody been kind of overlooking this part of it. Maybe he's having them on the game because I looked at the schedule, and the schedule that's coming up, we got a couple of outside games when it's getting cold. Maybe he's saving them to play these games on the road. You know, I don't know, but like I said, he want to run this Taysom Hill package. Sunday would be a great day to run that Taysom Hill package, man, against Chicago. You know, you should give him a heavy dose of Latavius Murray, a heavy dose of the Taysom Hill. You know, just run the ball, man. I don't say use all of them. See Kamara, Murray, Taysom, run the ball. Don't sit there and try to make Drew Brees throw that ball, man, no 20-something mile per hour wins. You know what I mean? That's not going to be good. So I don't think he's going to go in there with a game plan like that, but you got to hope that this is a game where he really, really, really lean on the run. You know, now I'm looking for Davenport, man. Davenport looked good last week. He looked real good. Mm-hmm. You know, we need him, Q. We really need him, man. We really need him to play, man. Like, I really think it's time for him to slide into that Cameron Jordan spot. You see what I'm saying? Like it's time for him to stay healthy and slide to that number one defensive man. Because, you know, Cam getting kind of older too. You know, he's in his 30s now. Then you got this big stud on the other side. I mean, it's just time for him to stay healthy and stay on the field. I'm telling you, man, I think if we had him healthy all season, even with the secondary playing like it's been playing, I think we at least have one more win. Just with him making a play or two to get us a win or just disrupt the play or stop a drive or something so we can, sneak another win in there. But we really need him to be on the field. And a lot of people trying to downplay, Henderson did him. Maybe we need Davenport on the field, man. You seen the impact last week when he played, how it looked when he was on the field.
Yep.
And these teams, they're horrified of him, man. You listen to these people talk, they're horrified of him. I didn't know dude was that big. I was looking at his weight and his height and everything and his vertical the other day. I was kind of looking at all this stuff. Dude, pretty big, man.
Yeah, 6'6" or 6'7".
Shoot, that's like a big power forward or something. That's like damn the white come around the doggone corner or something.
Yeah, long too. So I mean, they see him up front, man. He's a beast, man. He's imposing.
Yeah, he's opposing. So you have to fly somebody. You can't just be like, you gotta fly somebody. I'll tell you the truth, man. I really think they'll slide the extra help on their side and let Cam be one-on-one. I'm serious, man. They'll be like, just let Cam beat us. You're gonna have to just beat us with our best tackle. But but they'll put, the other tackle and they'll give him help with Davenport, and they'll just probably put their best tackle on Cam. Because that dude, man, I watched that film on him last week. I'm like, dude, man, you seen when he got that sack on Teddy?
Mm-hmm.
How he just, man, I mean, he just do that damn big ass lineman like he wasn't nothing. I say, if we could get him to, this stay on the field, man. Just stay on the field and play for us. Now the secondary, see, I don't know, Q. I mean, Marcus Williams, I read in the comments somebody said it's cold. Marcus ain't gonna be hit. Well, shit, he don't hit when it's damn warm. So, I don't know why they didn't make a trade, man, for some kind of safety, man. Or, like I say, or open up some of the roster spots, like you say, trade some players away, man, and go after another safety, man, because he just not it, man. He just not it. Look back at all the games, Q, all the doggone playoff games, the big games we lost. All them players was all him, Q.
Mm-hmm. A lot of them, bro.
He gave up a lot of the plays, especially like the Stephon Diggs play. I mean, that was on him. Then you come back again with in the San Francisco game, Kittle was just killing him. I mean, it's like, he just not it. And I'm telling you, man, I like Swearinger, man. I'll get a dude a chance, man. At least bench him for a couple of weeks. Listen, man, look what Belichick did Cam, man. Bro, we're going to sit you down for the rest of the game. You know what I'm saying? I don't care who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Cam, we're going to sit you down for the rest of the game, man. We're going to let this other guy play for a little while. You just continue to sit there and let somebody just, he's going to get beat deep, but we're going to keep him out there and let him get beat deep. And like people say, Dennis Allen in the secondary coach. What his name is again, Q? The secondary coach?
Aaron Glenn.
Glenn. Bro, if you're the head coach, can't you overrule all them? Like, look, damn, I don't care what you're talking about, Aaron Glenn. Sit his ass down. Like, what is Sean Payton? Like, what? All right, I'm not going to keep you long, because I'm just want to ask you a question. Like, really?
Mm-hmm.
Where do you think Sean Payton's head is at? Do you think he's thinking, okay, Drew getting ready to get out of here, so, I'm about ready to get out of here, or you think he's just like, he's just lost it, like he don't have it no more, the game that passed him up, or like you always say, he just don't give a damn. As long as he getting that $9 million every damn year, that he get. That taxpayer.
Well,
what you got?
Well, Mike, I think, bro, he does that. Sean Payton really does believe, bro, that his game plan is solid. That the only reason
he did that fire too.
For real, bro. I'm serious. I'm telling you, bro. That's why the lineups don't change that much. I mean, you talking about like what they did with they had the backup. Easton playing in there for the rookie that he decided to make the moves on the offensive line to bring, which was a interesting move for you to take a center on the offense, which has Super Bowl aspirations, and you changing the offensive line. That was a big risk. But then the thing is, when he drafted the guy, he brought the guy in and he brought the guy in that played him at guard as opposed to center, which was problematic. That kind of screwed with his line. Then when the guy finally made to be healthy, he kept him at guard as opposed to play him at center, which it was just a whole mess. It still is a mess. And then the guy played it, before he got a chance to stay in there, Peyton, prior to this last matchup, pulled him and put Easton in there. So, I mean, keeping a rookie on the offensive line, the guy never played guard before.
Who's doing that? But who's the system really doing that? Like, why would he even do that?
Because Sean Payton believes that the moves that he's making on the offense and on the defense are solid moves. And he's thinking that the only reason why the team is struggling on those areas is because they're not executing. It's not reaching him that the fact that the reason why the offense is struggling to a degree and the defenses are looking bad is because you might have to consider personnel changes. Perhaps the guys that you have in there, they're not playing well. They're not getting it done. Perhaps you have to sit guys when they get blown and give up touchdowns. Perhaps when they get burnt, you got to bench them. But they don't do that.
Like I say, what Bill Belichick did with Cam Newton, when he threw that third interception, man, or however many interceptions do, Bill Belichick would have went, man, we're going to sit you down for the rest of the game. I don't give a damn who you is, but you're not about to continue. I'm not going to let you stay out here and just keep on just beating us, getting us beat like the whole game. I mean, you got to make some kind of moves, man. I don't know what he's going to do, man. Malcolm Jenkins looking like he about 50 back there.
Well, they doing so that's not Jenkins' strong suit. What they got him doing, man.
And I know it's not. They got him up there playing the tight end. Man, Jenkins ain't. When he was in Philadelphia, he wasn't doing that.
No, that's not Jenkins' strong suit.
He was kind of back there like a Roma, kind of like this. He was kind of like pretty much free to do kind of
exactly.
You sticking him on a tight end. How he go direct everybody? How you got the veteran safety, the veteran on the team? How you got him stuck on at a skill position player all game? How you gonna put Marcus Williams and help them boys get in the right position, and he got to worry about checking the damn tight end every play? I mean, that don't make no sense. You on your own. I gotta check Kittle. I mean, I thought he brought him back to help them. I didn't think they brought him back to check tight ends. I don't understand that. And I heard one sports commentator was talking about, I hate to bring this up now, since it's so late in the season, but I really do think that the Drew Brees comments is really, that's why the team come rivalry ain't got that. Man, that secondary been playing like that for 4 years. And ain't got nothing to do with the hell Drew Brees said. They didn't even talking crazy. I'm like, what is he talking about? Drew Brees comments, I think that the locker room has never been the same since then. That's why I think the team can't rally around him. Is Drew playing defense? Is he playing middle linebacker? They ain't got nothing to do with him.
Mike, I done heard some stuff. Sway came on the recap show of the last matchup. We recapped the last game against the who we played last. It's just a blur at this point, man. It's just ridiculous. Panthers, right? I mean, but we can't because it all runs together. Because I'm basically saying the same thing week after week. It's absolutely crazy. But Sway came on there and said that some people on Facebook was telling him the reason why the defense is not dealing well with the deep ball is because Drew Brees can't throw the deep ball in practice, and the defense is surprised by that. You should have seen me fall out laughing at that. So I was like, some kind of way they circle it around it being Drew Brees' fault.
It's gonna come back to Brees every damn time, bro. You know what I'm saying? If that was the case, you would just put Taysom back there and let him sling it in practice. Oh, James, they got James too. They'll just let them throw it back there. That was a doggone case. Mm-hmm. They ain't got nothing to do with no Drew Brees can't throw the deep ball. And I'm telling you right now, people sleeping on Drew. I'm telling you, if he get an opportunity where he can hum that ball down the field, then he's gonna let that thing go. Well, I'm telling you now, he still gonna throw that ball. He can throw that ball 4 to 5 yards down the field. That's all you need. You ain't gotta throw that ball no goddamn 70, 80 yards like Patrick Mahomes now. All you need to get is about 45 yards. He can throw that ball 45. He can throw it accurate, just like that. He don't need to he got skill players. You don't have to throw the ball, 60 yards down. See, Tom Brady ain't throwing the ball before. I think his longest pass was like 40-some yards, 45 yards. That ain't far down the field. His receivers is getting open. That's all. And he taking the shot down the field. Sometimes I just feel like Drew don't want to take the shot because if he get picked, he don't want to throw no interception. Basically, he just don't want to throw no picks. Tom Brady on his ass, with these records, and that's the only reason why Tom Brady's still playing anyway. He just want to play because he wants some records too. He don't want to go out at the Super Bowl. I'm not lying to you. He don't want to go out at the Super Bowl. Okay, well, I got 6 Super Bowls, but Drew got the percentage record, the touchdown record, the passing yard record. So you gonna always be able to put, okay, well, he got the Super Bowl, but who individually has the better number? You know what I'm saying? He don't want that. He don't want to be questioned at all. He want to be the undisputed heavyweight champion of NFL. And that's the only way he can do that is if he keep playing to break off Drew Brees' record. That's it. He already got the touchdown record. Already caught that. They're going to go back and forth with that thing all year. And then you got Antonio Brown coming there. Why do you think he advocates for Tony? They were doing just fine with Antonio Brown. Tom Brady wanted to throw touchdowns, man. He wanted to throw touchdowns. He wanted to get a lot of yards. Because Drew's on like 3,000 some yards or almost 3,000 yards in front of him. So he's not far. So if he played this year and Drew retired this year, and then Tom played next year, he's gonna break too.
That's why I question whether or not he stops after this year.
Huh?
That's why I question whether or not Drew will stop this year, knowing that if he gonna keep going as long as he going if he care about them records.
Listen to your boy, Q. Drew ain't going nowhere. And Drew feel like I'm 41. He's 43. We both on a 2-year deal. Drew not going to, now see the touchdown record, that thing going to be up for grabs. But that passing yard record, man, Drew ain't trying to let that thing go. He want that. That's all he really have, Q. Besides one Super Bowl, he got that. He got to put, it's not a touchdown thing, it's up for grab with him too. So the only thing he really have right now is the percentage and the yards. If he lose them two, shit, that's gonna drop him. That's gonna drop him way down. You know what I'm saying? On the totem pole, he's like, damn, I don't want to go out like that. And Tom Brady he want all of them. Why do you think he's throwing the ball like that? They don't run the ball either. They all they do is pass the ball. Now they loading up Antonio Brown too. You think they get him to run the ball? Man, the people think it just pass. And Tom Brady got a little say so what's going on over there too. So he's gonna throw the ball a lot.
Right.
So I don't know, man. Like I said, I don't think Drew going nowhere. I told everybody keep talking about Drew. They're gonna get a quarter. They're gonna do this. They're gonna do this. They might get a quarterback, but Drew he's playing next year. He's not. And people keep talking about his NFL contract. That thing is not next year. It's the year after that. He signed that contract. I think it's for 2022. It ain't for 21. That thing say 20. I was looking at it. It say 2022. So he could actually play another year next year if he wants to. You don't have to retire. He could play again a year and then fulfill his duty in the 22 season. You don't have to retire next year. Everybody keeps talking about he signed that deal, but that deal is not up to come for 2 more years now. So he can play another year. I think he's going to play another year. He's not going to just stop like that, man. He's not going to let his record go like that. I mean, would you, Q? I'm just saying.
If I believe in them and those things, I most certainly wouldn't. If I took 20-something odd years to stack pile statistics, I would definitely play. And my adversary is sitting on my right by me in terms of, and his goal is to beat you, and you know that straight up. Then, of course, what's one more year?
His goal is to beat you. The only reason why he playing Tom Brady don't give a damn about no other Super Bowl when he got 6. That sucker wants them records. That's what he wants. So, Sean Payton, that's another reason why they're throwing the ball so much. That's why they're throwing the ball so much. Sean Payton has always been like that. When it comes time to break Drew record, what do you do? We're going to get Drew this record. You know what I'm saying? But y'all out here, you and Sean out here chasing records, and y'all losing these damn playoff games every damn year. You know what I'm saying? You're like, damn, the record don't matter if you can't win no rings. I don't know what's going on with them over there. I don't know. Sean Payton got a couple of more years left on his contract. I don't know what they're gonna do with that. I really think when Drew go, he's gonna want to get out of there. So I don't know. But I'll tell you one thing, that secondary is horrible. I don't know what the hell Marshawn Lattimore doing. I don't know what Jack Rabbit doing. I don't know what's going on, man. I really don't know. Q, I don't know how they're going. I really don't know how they're gonna fix it. I mean, you didn't even came up with 1,000 scenarios of what they can do to fix it. But I don't know how they're gonna fix it because right now it just seems like they're just not playing at their skill level. Like they're not being put in the proper, the proper situation to succeed. To me, like you said, you got Melvin Jenkins playing up at the line. You got Marcus Williams out there you know he gonna get burnt. You keeping him back there. You got, like I said, you got Genius at the line, and you got Lattimore playing all this this bump coverage. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I really do think he's better when he's up at the line of scrimmage on a receiver. When he gives them ball a little bit cushion, he's been getting burnt lately, man. Like, you know. And I mean, I guess I don't know what Janoris Jenkins playing this week. I guess he's playing. I got to look at the thing.
He playing,
but I'm guessing he's playing. So it's gonna be him, Lattimore. So you got them two. You got Lattimore, and you got CJ Garner-Johnson. I'm not mad at CJ because he's still young, you know. So, but he need to tighten up too, you know. So I'm gonna let you go, Q, because I mean I know other people want to call in. But what you think we need to go out there and do to win the game?
Oh, bro, it's a lot, man. We gotta first and foremost, we have to be able to we gotta start sacking the quarterback. We gotta generate turnovers.
You gotta get some. You know your secondary is struggling, man. You know they struggling back there. Your quarterback running around, calling their grandma, wishing them happy birthday, and goddamn going to the store, getting a bottle of damn Thunderbird, a bottle of Pluck with the Kool-Aid. And then they go back, oh, shit, he open. I mean, it's like they did back there forever, man, running around, you know? And you got the secondary back there, they lost you. They can't even cover for 3 seconds, let alone when the quarterback starts scrambling. I mean, you know?
Yep,
and Marcus Williams always get caught out of position, bro. It's like every game. Man, you never have a play. You might get one out of Blue Moon a play. You be like, oh, okay. But, man, 95% of the time, he out of position, man. He's just out of position, bro. I don't know. I see bench his ass. Me. That's just me, man. That's just me. I'll bench him to put Swearinger in there, let him know that, you know. And then you got to think, and you put Swearinger in there, Swearinger going to be like, shit, man, this is my opportunity, you know. They didn't bench his ass. It ain't like I'm coming in the game because he hurt or something like that. Nah, they benched his ass for me to get in here, you know.
Right.
And you know that dude go on there and play pretty good. 9 times out of 10, they'll just stay with him, you know.
Right.
Sometimes you gotta bench players too, bro. You just gotta bench.
You got to, bro. I mean, that's what a functioning coach supposed to do.
I know sometimes that's what a real coach supposed to do. It ain't no my buddy friend this, then my buddy, my partner. No, man, you playing hard, but you making us look crazy. And it's crazy. Even when the offense go down there and score a couple of, a few touchdowns, here you go to the other offense coming back scoring again. It's like you forced it. It's like it's like the old 09, 08, 11. Let me see. The old, the 11 through 14 season it's four. Like they almost have to score every drive, man, to keep up. Because your defense is not gonna stop nobody.
Mm-hmm.
And you put all that pressure on Drew Brees, man. He always got to save the day. Always got to be the 2-minute drive. You know what I'm saying? The hurry up offense to get you, down there, scoring position and all this stuff. One of them damn teams gonna miss. One of them teams gonna make one of them field goals, not you. You know when it's gonna happen, Q? It's gonna happen in the playoffs and the big game. You know what I'm saying? When they relying on goddamn somebody to make a bad play or miss a field goal, and they're gonna hit that shit. Cause that's the reason why we lost last week, because that dude missed that field goal. That's the only reason we lost. I mean, we won that game.
Yeah, it's like I said, we better than this. We better than a team beating.
We way better. That's way better. The team is way better than that, man. We way better than that, Q. So like I said, I don't know. I think we need to go run the ball. Play stout defense, because Nick Foles, they're gonna still try to throw the ball in that win.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should take a couple of shots when the win is at our back. Maybe, sneak a few passes in there. But don't be trying to throw into that win. One thing, if you're going towards the win, you run that drive. I mean, you run the ball. Like you always say, 2 rushes, first down.
2 rushes, first down. They can't stop it either. They're letting you go at 120 a game running the ball. Think about it,
big
easy.
Like you always say. Like you always bring up the receipt thing. This ain't nothing you just saying, okay, 2 rushes, first down, okay, 2 rushes. But this is a proven fact. What's that dude, Mike, what his last name is, Q, saying about the percentage of when we run the ball so many times, we win it. What is that guy name?
Detillier.
Yeah, that's it, him. What he said it was again? When we run the ball,
I think it's 93 or 95% of the time the Saints win. 30 when they run the ball 30 times a game, they win 93 to 95% of the time, something like that.
Now you mean to tell me Sean Payton can't realize this shit, man? Oh, he can realize it, huh? Q, he just want to do what the hell he want to do, huh?
He gonna do it. That's what I was telling you about Peyton, bro. That's what it is. He gonna win the way he gonna win when he is. The way he wants to win.
What you think is gonna take to get him out of there? I mean, you gonna think it's gonna take Drew to retire, or you gonna think it's the fan pressure, or you think he's gonna just leave after his contract up? You know, because he getting paid $9 million a year. So I mean, that's pretty good piece of change.
I don't think
he like fourth on the list.
I don't think he goes anywhere right now. To be honest with you, Mike, he got 3 years. I think 3 years left on his current deal.
He gonna get that goddamn money.
Mm-hmm. He ain't going nowhere. He got all of the. Nobody's giving him no problems. The media's in line. The administration doesn't give him any pressure. He's allowed to do pretty much whatever he wants to do. So the only thing about that is the reason why he looks unhappy, despite the fact that where it is, because that's what kind of person he is.
Like he won't jump off the bridge every time you look at him.
Yeah, you look. I said that. I said that, bro. I said, man, listen. How are you this way? How are you this way, bro? How are you upset and old grandpa-ish with the secondary, with the media, and you got everything.
He got them old droopy dog jaws.
He got the St. Bernards.
Yeah, he got the St. Bernard looking all sad, like he crying all the damn Beethoven looking at it every time he in the damn post game. You know, I'm like, why you look so damn? Even after a win, he just be, well, yeah, we're the guys. You know, I'm like, what the hell?
Dude got one of 30 jobs. One of 30 people job in the country, and he ain't happy. Are you kidding me?
I think it'd be trickling down to the team too, though, man. I really do, man. I think that trickles down to the team because you don't see Sean Payton on the sideline. He used to be fired up, going down the sideline, kicking his leg in the air, and you don't do all that no more. You just be sitting there like whatever. I just don't understand, man. I just don't understand. Like you say, he got one of the best jobs in the world. He used to just crying all the damn time, sad all the goddamn time. That don't make no damn sense, man. You know?
Like I said, and then the thing is, the job is relatively easy. You got a good team. If you know what to do, if he can put the team in cruise control, turn over the offensive play call into the coordinator that's been with you for over 10 years. Be a head coach.
Man. Pete Carmichael, man.
Turn it over to him. Let him have it. Sit back there as a head coach and watch over all the levels of your team. Like, look at the fact that your special teams can't block for the kick returners and punt returners. Let's get that together. Let's focus on that.
You remember last year, Q, our special team was one of our greatest strengths on the team. With the special teams for the last couple of years. Like, special teams were like the shit. And now it's like, all right.
This coverage units in terms of getting to the opposing teams, kick returns, punt returns are decent. But in terms of us returning the ball and them open up blocks for our kick returners, they are absolutely horrible. They're horrible.
So here you got Harris and this other guy that could bust this thing, man, and score some points.
Well, you got to block for them,
all they need is a seam. That's all they need is a seam, man.
We got to block for them. Them guys being tackled by 2 and 3 and 4 people. But Mike, I appreciate you chiming in, bro. Give me a last thought on it, my brother, and then we'll move on.
Well, my last thought is, man, run the ball. Sean Payton to stop looking all sad all the time, like he coaching the Jets. I mean, that's how he act, like he coaching. Like he coaching the doggone Jets. I mean, that's how he act. Like he coaching the doggone Jets. Man, you coaching there the New Orleans Saints, man. Hall of Fame quarterback, all pro running back. And then the Tavis Murray is a doggone good complimentary back that many people wish they probably had on their team right now. You got all this young talent across the board. You got a veteran tight end in Jared Cook. You got a stud Michael Thomas that's going to come back. You got the young dude, the young receiver, he coming up. Trey Crime, he so flashes like he always do. He never can't just have 4 straight good games. And you got a Manny Sanders, but I think he's not really gonna play because he got the COVID thing again. You got a defensive line that's stout. That could only thing you got, like you say, I just think he need to give over the reins to Pete, let him run the offense, and you sit back and look at the team and see really what's going on. It's like Belichick did it in New England with Josh McDaniels for so long. So he let Josh do that, man. And he did, listen, if your defense is struggling, the offense, you can get by with the offense with the coordinator. Let him do that for a while. You focus, okay, look, Dennis, you're going to have to get this defense together, you know? And you sit there and you help him on that front. But his ego is so bad that he just don't want to give up the play caller. So it's like if they do something good and they do, you know, have a really good game and, you know, they go do something, he wants to take the credit. He don't want nobody to be like, oh, ever since Sean Payton will relinquish the do this to Pete, you know, this thing's offense has really been explosive. He don't want that, man. He don't want that dude to have no credit for that, you know? And my last order, you check that dance out, my boy Harris did in the end zone, he scored that touchdown. The little mushroom man. That's my dude there, Q. I like Harris, man. But Q, let you go, man. Who that? Hopefully we do something this weekend, man, and I'm gonna, you know, continue listening at the show, see what's going on, and who that. And, hope everybody out there in the Gulf Coast stay safe, blessed, and if anything happens to y'all, you know, I hope good fortunes are coming to y'all soon. We gonna holler, Q. Who that?
Thank you, Mike. Who that to you, bro? Be safe out there in ATL.
All right, later.
Peace. All right, that's Mike, man. Mike from Hold'em Hook'em TV. Big ups to Mike. Thank you for the call, bro. Live lines open, family. 504-475-4482. Live lines are open. 504-475-4482. Live lines open. Who that to you, Garrett? Gary Caraway. Good to see you in the chat, bro. Brian Pearson. Jay Huntsberry. Who that to you, Jay? I see you, fam. Big ups to you. Thank you, DJ. Who that to you as well? Latrell Pollard. Who that to you, fam? Good to see you in the chat as well. Darwin Giroux, who that to you, fam? Thank you for joining us. Mark 504, big ups to you. Old Tide Champ, who that to you? Good to see you in the chat as well. Big ups to all the family members. Robert Clark and the rest of the family members joining us in this edition. Ulysses, what up, Ulysses? Who that to you, fam? Good to see you in the chat as well, man. He says, you're right, Q. Peyton has a huge problem. He's a legend in his own mind. No one challenges him. No one. And the only people that challenges him, he gets rid of it like he did Nigel Bradham. He got rid of Nigel Bradham for challenging him for more reputations. Said that I wanted to see what these young guys are going to do. But then when he gets a chance to put the young guys in, Joe Pesci, Keith Washington, and the rest of those guys, they sitting on the practice squad. He gave Callaway an opportunity. Got to credit him that. But we got to work these younger players in, man, to see what they can do. And get some of this old people out here like these Ken Crawley people. That's not going to really help you do nothing. Big ups to you. All right, Dada says, Dan, we hurt like I'll say, use Taysom a lot more as a wide receiver in this game, and hopefully Troutman can be ready. That's right. Well, you know, that's a part of it. And where was Ty Montgomery, who should be ready to go as well? Ty Montgomery should be a factor in this upcoming game. He could play wide receiver as well. Troutman has been out there. He hasn't been thrown at, but he's been making blocks. I've seen Troutman out there. You look at the, like you said about Taysom. Taysom could be a weapon against this Chicago Bears defense if you use him as a wide receiver and not so much as the quarterback. Can we stop doing that? Could we stop using Taysom Hill like the quarterback in this game? Could we eliminate those packages? If you're going to use Taysom Hill, use him as a wide receiver. The issue is he can't do that because he promised Taysom that he was going to use him as a quarterback when he can, even though Taysom is not really, he's hurting the offense in that manner. But Sean Payton is egotistical, and he will continue to force feed plays, and that's the issue. And that's why I was saying about when you look at the fruition of what Sean Payton doing, in his mind, that his plays work, they just need to execute them better. When do you ever hear him saying that he's going to stop doing certain plays or go away from certain plays because the rest of the league done figured them out? And that's what I'm trying to tell him. Bro, your plays is not working because 45, and I'm saying this conservatively. Well, I think Tess and some other family members yesterday have said, I would say it's up to 55% or more. But I know I'm saying that conservative-wise, 45% of his playbook is compromised, meaning they know it. They know, they've seen it. They know what to expect. They know what to look at. They know about the screen game that you run. They know about the Taysom Hill package. They've basically eliminated that. And it wasn't like that was difficult to do because you don't let him throw the ball. I mean, and even when he has an opportunity to throw the ball, Taysom doesn't. He tucks it underneath and turns into a running back. So, and that was proof positive that like when he got sacked in the Green Bay Packers game, which the Saints were marching to score. They would have won that Green Bay Packer game if it wasn't for that long turnover. That basically Green Bay got the ball, was able to run out the clock on them. And see, that's the foolish part of this whole endeavor is you think you will learn your lesson from something like that. Stop doing the Taysom Hill package because Taysom's not throwing the ball. You don't have the confidence to throw the ball. If you look at the play when he was with Latavius Murray in the Green Bay game, he had an opportunity to throw the ball in. That play actually was you mean to tell, they can't possibly tell me upon you look at that play, and I've looked at it a dozen times, that you look at that play and say that's a running play. There was absolutely, I would have fired the offensive coordinator that would have called that play. Because if he was that stupid to call that play, he don't deserve to be working for a football team calling numbskull plays like that. Because that play where you had 7 men in the box blitzing, which came down in the box to cover up Taysom Hill. They had 2 guys. Matter of fact, Troutman and I think it was Carr or Troutman, one of them went over. Only thing he had to do was loft it over Zadarius Smith's goddamn head. You had 2 guys that was out there. It would have been a big game. But what did he do? He do what he normally does. Pulls it down and turns into a running back. That's why we need to eliminate the Taysom Hill passing packages, because Taysom's not looking to throw the ball. When you watch that play, he had an opportunity. It was in a shotgun. He had a chance to overlook the field and see what it looking like. If he had properly assessed the field, he would have seen them guys in the box and would have shifted to a passing play. If he was a smart quarterback, he would have not tried to pull it down and try to run up against a 7-man front. And if you had recognized the 7-man front, you would have gave the ball to Latavius Murray if you was going to let him run it. He has a better chance of getting yardage versus your ass. Who the hell you think you are? Latavius Murray averages 4.5, 5 yards a carry for, this entire season. Who do you think you're going to get the first down against a 7-man front? I mean, seriously, man, that was bad play calling. It cost us the game. And I like Taysom a lot. But Sean Payton has to understand the Taysom Hill packages are killing the team because they're too predictable. I can't get in. If you got a coach who don't understand that principle, only thing I can say is he getting told he over the hill. Anytime you witnesses the plays not working in the way they're supposed to intended, eliminate the plays because they're predictable. They know what you're doing. You're not supposed to run plays. They know what you're going to do. Then you're not. If you in the customary thinking is, if I'm running the ball, if they think I'm going to pass, I run. If they think I'm going to run, I pass. That is how it goes. You're supposed to keep their heads on a swivel all the time. You ain't supposed to exactly do what they want you to do. And that's a great point about the weather as well. If it's going to be the Windy City like it's customarily is, and it's going to be at nighttime, then perhaps the Saints will benefit from running up against this team that's allowing 120 yards per contest on the ground. The defense allows 120 yards rushing. The Saints average 118 yards on the ground per game. So, I mean, if they're giving you 120, take it. Take 130 if you have to. And then, of course, you can still pass the ball when they dedicate resources to stopping the pass. Y'all stop me if you heard this before. All right, big ups to the rest of them. Darwin says, hey, Q, if Peyton is suffering from brain fog, which is a side effect of C19. All right, well, man, listen, he must have got it way back in the day because this ain't the first time. He been doing this same nonsensical stuff. I don't know if I won't blame it on the C19. Thank you for that, Darwin. Big ups to you. All right, Mark 504 says they better get these lights right before Sunday. I know that. Get the lights on. A lot of family members, big up to the family members still dealing with, issues with the lights off and stuff like that. City was hard hit. So hopefully, true indeed, days after the storm, things can get better for a lot of the family members out there. So big ups to you. Robert Clark, who that to you? Robert says Chicago's defense allows 4.5 yards per carry. The Ram averaged 5 yards per carry last game. Seriously. I mean, what more you need? The Achilles heel of the team is that they cannot stop the run. Why are you trying to throw as opposed to run the ball against the Achilles heel? Why would you play your hands into your opponent's strengths and not their weaknesses? Why would you not take advantage of their weaknesses as opposed to attack their strengths? What kind of fool are you to do that? Caress says Peyton is smoking from Friday. He's smoking his own dope. I mean, Garrett Garraway, who that to you? Garrett says Peyton act like Andy Griffin, no state of urgency, or he Floyd from the barbershop. No doubt about it. It's amazing, man. You got your teams, your adversaries lining up against you. They're getting talent. You have not done anything. There is no trades going to happen. So when you look for that, the Saints feel, and I keep telling you, it's the same mindset with the team that it is with his play scheme. We got the right plays. You don't know what you're talking about, Q. We just got to execute them better. And then in the mentality is like, coach, you can execute those plays best you want. If Taysom Hill's not throwing the ball out of the Taysom Hill's package, he's not going to get very much success. You can run that play 9 out of 10 times. It's going to turn into a failure. Stop throwing the ball down the line of scrimmage. Why don't you? What they taught you in geography class, in math class, that the shortest path to something is a straight line, correct? So, I mean, why are you running and throwing the ball down the line of scrimmage as opposed to down the field? That needs to stop. We need to eliminate throwing the ball 7 and 8 times down the line of scrimmage as opposed to down the field. That needs to stop. We need to commit more to the running attack. We need to do that more. We need to commit more to 3 tight end packages. We need to commit more to that. We need to use these packages where we get our people open down the field and be able to attack where we want to attack based on the fact that we're running the ball correctly. And then they will have to commit resources to stopping us. Then that'll open up all the passing lanes that we need. That's how this thing works. But it is not on Drew Brees. It's not Drew Brees' fault. That's the first thing people say. They'll say Drew Brees, but they'll never attack Sean Payton. They'll never say that. They'll say Drew's over the hill, even though he has spectacular numbers this season. Spectacular numbers. Only really 2 interceptions. That third interception wasn't his fault. The guy batted it at the line of scrimmage and the guy caught it. So really, in my eyes, he only threw 2 interceptions. The rest is he's having a phenomenal year. But they'll never give him credit for that. They won't give Drew Brees credit for that. They're too busy hating on him, saying that he's the reason. Brees is not the reason for the season. Why you looking struggling like that? You got a coach who keeps doing ridiculous play calling. Where's the innovative play calling? Where is the running of the ball, the disciplined, smart play calling, and then attacking it? We'll beat these teams by 10 points a game, and you'll literally see a lot of them submit because you're stealing opportunities away from them, which means it puts pressure on them to make every drive work. They have to convert. They'll have to score touchdowns on every drive. Most teams can't handle that type of pressure. And if you got a gunslinger like Nick Foles is, who has 6 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, that means he likes to get a ball up. He doesn't have a complete grasp on Matt Nagy's offense, and he criticized Matt Nagy's offense early this week. So there's a bit of dysfunction going on there in Chicago. We need to take advantage of that. We need to put the pressure on him. We need to shut the running attack down, which we will do. We need to cover up the tight end. And if Allen Robinson's not playing, that's good, but we still got to make sure we cover these rookies or these young wide receivers that they have. Cover up Jimmy Graham and do what we need to do. And like I've said, we need to take Alex Anzalone off the Mike position, give it to Demario Davis, and put a linebacker who can cover tight ends. I don't care if he's a rookie. Put a guy like Zach Bowen, who you gave up all that draft capital to get. Let's see what Zach Bowen can do. You put Zach Bowen in there, let him cover the tight end. Let him cover the tight end. Seriously. And then let's keep those safety side. Let's keep Jenkins away from the tight end, please. Let's make sure Jenkins is playing. Let's play 2 high safeties to prevent the deep ball, keep everything in front of you. Let's do that. They're going to take chances down the field. That's what Nick Foles does. He's a gunslinger. He's a risk taker. They're going to throw interceptions. We have to make sure also we get pressure on the quarterback. We're not sacking the quarterback enough, family. We're not sacking the quarterback enough. We're not getting enough turnovers. That's interceptions and fumbles. We're not stripping the ball away. And then what we turn around doing on the defensive end is when they march us down the field, we're giving up touchdowns in the red zone. And I'm pretty sure if you look at the statistics even more about time of possession, I'm pretty sure the Saints defense is probably in the top 10 at having more time on the field than most teams. I'm guaranteed they're in the top 5. And the reason why the defense is on the field so much is because the offense can't seem to stay on the field. So we have a problem. Defense is on there more than our offense is, which means the opposing team's offense is marching your defense up the field, and they're tired. Thank you, Dada. Big ups to you. Dada says, use Taysom at running back, tight end, fullback, wide receiver, safety if he's making $8 million. Why not? Everything but quarterback, in my opinion. Thank you, Dada. Appreciate the super chat and the super words, bro. That is powerful. But see, that's a part of Sean Payton's trickery to get Taysom to sign that contract, is that he promised him he was going to use him at quarterback. And to the dismay of the Saints offense, because he doesn't have a rhythm throwing the ball, he's not even looking to throw the ball. So I can't even put that on Sean Payton. It's up to Taysom Hill to look downfield to see what he's doing, then say, you know what? Let's see what we can do on that end. That's what it basically comes down to. If it's not that, then what can I tell you? If it's not that, what can I tell you indeed? So thank you, Dada, once again for your super chat. Crass is another number one cornerback. Won't solve our issues on the back end. Those Saints need a change of safety. That is true. And then let me tell you something. If you get a really good safety, that's a hitter that knows where to be, boy, watch how that secondary turn around, because the cornerbacks can then gamble. And that's what cornerbacks do, because they can gamble a bit knowing that the safety got their back. Malcolm Jenkins, there's no trust in Malcolm Jenkins. I don't care who tell you that we trust Malcolm. You must be a fool, because Malcolm Jenkins doesn't deserve to be trusted back there. Malcolm Jenkins, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Malcolm Jenkins does not deserve to be trusted back there. He doesn't. You can't trust Malcolm Jenkins back there. I'm sorry, you can't, because he doesn't know what he's doing. And like I told people, Marcus Williams. Marcus Williams to me is a really nice dude. I like the kid, but he's not the right safety for the Saints. He's too soft insofar as his game. He doesn't know how to tackle well enough, and he gets lost way too often. And it's a shame. I like him. He's a good dude, but we need somebody that know what they're doing and somebody that's a hitter. We need somebody that's a tone setter. We need somebody that, I'm telling you, with good safety play, the cornerbacks look a lot different. You know, you look at what Sharper and Leroy Butler did for the Green Bay defense. You can look at a guy like Mike McKenzie, who was absolute trash without protection on the back end. He got lit up, but he looked like a champ with Green Bay because of the safeties. When you have young safeties back there that plays like that and they cover up all that stuff, man, it's a whole nother world when you got serious safety play. I'm telling you, look at some of the really good safeties and safety tandems in the league that know how to protect the back end of the defense. It's a very important position. And if you don't get it right, you will suffer year upon year upon year. All right, family, the live line is open, 504-475-4482. Big ups to the rest of the family members that are chiming in this one. Big ups to you, Jordan. Good to see you in the chat as well. Big ups, family. Thank you for joining for this edition of the Sports Calm as well. Jay Huntsberry as well. Big ups if I didn't give you a shout out either, family. Who that to you as well. All right, Robert Clark says Eli Apple would be Sean Payton recycle. It does set it up. I mean, it fits the narrative that if Sean Payton wanted another cornerback, he can just simply reach to Eli Apple and put him in here. Why not? You got everybody else. They put the band back together. Why not? And bring Eli Apple up in here too. I mean, it's just absolutely insane, man. Jay Huntsberry says, Earl sitting out there looking us in the face. Swearing not as fast, but damn sure smarter, and will make you pay for coming his way. That's great statements there. Jay Huntsberry, who that to you? That's well said. The reality at the end of the day is that you cannot, we pinpoints that we picking on Marcus. No, Marcus picking on his damn self. You don't go out there if you're not prepared, man. Tell the coaches, Coach, I'm sorry, listen, I just don't see what I'm seeing. I'm thinking I'm seeing something, but I'm not. But see, if you was a coach and you really know what he was supposed to do, you can know where his issues is just by simply studying the tape. And then it's a pattern to him, because some places he'll be a step or two. It's always him being a step or two out of reality, or that when he gets to the play, it's like it's supposed to be a jarring play. Like you're safe, then you coming downhill, you're supposed to blast these guys, man, legally, blast them. But he comes downfield. And it's just ridiculous. His play doesn't exhibit confidence. And I like the kid. He's a good dude. He really is. He's a cool. Marcus Williams is a cool dude. I like the youngster. I really do. He's a good dude. He's just not the right safety for the Saints, man. We need somebody that's gonna knock you in the next week. We need somebody that got a reputation of destroying wide receivers, and I often go back to this because you got to play angry as a football player. That's what attitude is about. If you notice, most of the best defenses in the history of the NFL, they play with an attitude. They took the stance that, how dare you throw this goddamn ball over here in this area? Don't you understand this is my house and you're not gonna make it here? What's the punishment Marcus Williams dialing out to a wide receiver that's catching the ball in his vicinity, in his area? Where's your pride at? That's your home. Where's your take on that? And why is it that not preached? Because the attitude of the defense is supposed to be, you ain't supposed to move the ball on me. Don't you understand this is my home? You're not going to come into the New Orleans Superdome and handle business against the New Orleans Saints. We'll knock you in the next week. We ain't playing no game. You know, that's the attitude you're supposed to have. That is the attitude you're supposed to have. You're supposed to play angry but under control. You're supposed to play confident. It's called confident and understanding that you're not going to make it here. I'm going to knock your ass into next week. That's the attitude that players are supposed to have. So you hear a guy like Demario Davis, and I played it, open up the broadcast with several different interviews this on the show, says that you're not allowed as a linebacker to wear sleeves. That's the thing that they say because they're supposed to be tough because they can endure the cold no matter how cold it is, put them sleeves on. Well, if that's the mentality, then where's the mentality about you not supposed to be catching no goddamn ball around here? How dare you try to throw the ball in here? Chump, you must have forgot this the New Orleans Saints. We don't play no games. And see, when defenses have an attitude like that, they play together strongly and then they format nicknames for each other and for the team defense. That's how you get nicknames when you're a dominant defense that has a reputation for knocking wide receivers and tight ends lights out legally. You come in here, you're going to get your ass blew up. Bottom line. So, and then that's how you get the defense. But if you're a shitty defense, you don't get no good nickname. With the Saints, we're gonna call the Saints defense the Crescent City Strainer, because everything you put through there go right on through. You ain't stopping nothing. The New Orleans Saints defense is the new name for the shitty Saints defense. Is the New Orleans Saints Spaghetti Strainer defense. That's what it is. The Spaghetti Strainer, the Rice Strainer defense. Because whatever you put in, it's going to go right through it. It's going to go right on through. But, like I said, but it's also the Safe Life defenses I clowned about on the previous broadcast. You say Safe Life, Q, what you talking about? Safe Life meaning you can get burnt, cooked, twisted, torched, filleted, flambéed, baked, burnt, blackened, all that stuff. And then the next series you back out there after you gave up a touchdown. The next series, where's the punishment? Where's the push-ups? You sit your ass down there, we're going to put somebody else in there. They don't do that. You know why they can't do that? Because on the back end of the defense, they don't have nobody to replace the guy they want to sit down. So the Saints will really struggle with struggling players as to pull the struggling player out and put a player in that's not struggling. You tell me if that makes sense. But see, when I question your method, you're supposed to question your method. Because if you was really an intelligent coach, whether you be on defense or offense or head, do you say, you know what, that guy's presenting some interesting questions. Maybe we do need to think about what we're doing here, because how we're thinking about it obviously not work, because you keep marching the same goddamn people out there. It's a known thing throughout functional teams in the NFL that when players are stinking, sucking, and rotten, you pull them out of the game, bench their asses, and put somebody in there that's better. And then hopefully if the guy got guts and confidence like Mark Ingram did, he wants his job and he gets angry and fights for it. None of that. We don't see none of that happening. All right, who that to Elite Goods? I see you, fam. Big ups to Elite Goods in the building. Jermaine says, I'm going to give one more day to see if they'll make a move. Remember November the 3rd, that's Tuesday, I think, of next week, I want to say. Tuesday or Wednesday, I ain't got my calendar. Y'all let me know. But the reality is, at the end of the day, if you getting flambéed out there, they supposed to pull your ass out of the game, man. How you marching that guy out there? That guy just got bombed. Gave up a big-ass touchdown. And you mean to tell me that guy got the right to march his ass back out there the next series of plays, the defense come back on the field? For real? So what you do? Talk to him on the sideline? No, ain't none of that. Sit down, bro. Sit down, and we're going to talk about this thing. But see, the coach is supposed to know before the players do. See, a good coach knows if his players prepared to play. And if he's not, he won't play them, because you playing players that are not prepared to play, it don't help them. It hurts them, because if they get out there, they get torched, cooked, burnt, flambeed, turned upside down, barbecued, grilled, and all that rotisserie and all that kind of stuff. You think that helped their confidence to have that done to them? Huh? That don't help them, bro. And you supposed to know better than that. That's why I'm challenging these coaches to see what the hell you guys are doing. This guy been on the team for 4 years, and he's still looking like he just got there. There's something wrong with what you're doing. You changing it up, what you confusing him, or something's not right here. It's something that's terribly wrong. But it's definitely dysfunctional. Whatever they're doing, it stinks. It's rotten on the back end of the defense. And I'll talk about the cornerbacks all you want, but it's really the safeties. The safeties are an issue. There is no confidence back there. I mean, how you can't cut. And I keep telling y'all, look at the film, man. There is no special film that these people are studying that you ain't studying. You're looking at the same tape. There is nothing special that he's looking at that you're not looking at. I mean, you get me? You know, they got to hire a camera which sees the field and what's going on, but you can take the broadcast footage and look at them getting their ass handed to them. You can look at the broadcast footage and put a game plan together to see who's wrong and who's at fault and where they're supposed to be. And if you're really perspective, if you got some good commentators, they'll break the game down in a way to let you know this guy ain't supposed to be here. He's supposed to be up here. But it says, well, why is it Marcus Williams? Because Marcus Williams is the last line of defense. And he's not playing the area correctly. You can't then go down to help guard somebody and leave the back end of the defense open like he did against DJ Moore. You cannot. That's unforgivable. But still in all, Marcus Williams is just doing what he taught. That's what it is. Marcus Williams is doing what he taught. And the Saints are not providing any competition to run him off that job. They've stolen. Matter of fact, the only really dude you could say that you could put back there, he's playing nickel. The only other guy they had was Saquon Hampton, who they cut. They cut Saquon Hampton. He was the same safety they drafted along with Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. And Saquon Hampton, they put him in the street. And now you don't even much want to play. Swearinger, even if Swearinger was giving up plays, Swearinger would not do the kind of stuff Marcus Williams do. At least he would play with attitude, and he does get interceptions. And he will knock you on your ass. That's something Swearinger does know to do. And even if you say, listen, benching him for a series or two and letting Marcus Williams figure it out, that will help him, bro. That will help him. Let somebody else play. But don't keep marching these same people out there. You are in a state of delusion if you do that. Big ups to the rest of the family members chiming in. Let me get on down the chat. Remember the live line's open, fam. Thank you for your super chat there, Brother Dada. Once again, much love to you and your. All right. Who that to you, Ramsey? I see your family as well. Big ups to you. Crash says there's a good chance Zimmer could lose his job at the seasons. Will Sean have enough sense to bring him on the staff? Absolutely not. Because Zimmer wouldn't acquiesce to Sean Payton's tyranny. They're absolutely not. And that's what he got on. He's a mini-me dictator over there. Kevin says Payton has been demoted before in his career for calling bad plays. Jim Fassel spanked him. I remember that. But now he in a position where nobody gonna do that to me again. I'm the man and I called the plays. I'm like, listen, bro, maybe you don't realize this, but you're a head coach. You have Pete Carmichael been with you for at least a decade. If you don't trust Pete Carmichael in a decade, then something wrong with you, bro. It's no way that you should be calling the plays for this team. You're a head coach. You're supposed to be overseeing all of the duties of the entire team. That's why we're suffering on the special teams with the kick returner, punt returner game. Our red zone defense is stinking. The defense needs your attention. You need to pay attention as opposed to putting together a play calling skill set sheet for the offense. You need to have your ass overlooking the entire team and not saying Dennis Allen, you can have it. Because obviously Dennis Allen don't know what he's doing. He doesn't know what he's doing. Anybody that don't know what they're doing will not sit up here and call Peyton and say, hey, Peyton, let's go get Crawley. You know, you should slap the hell out of somebody, slap the eyebrows off their ass if they ever mention, this kid Crawley's available, let's go get him. Slap the eyebrows off their ass for saying that. And recycling these and going to the recycling bin and pulling out these silver bullet ass, trash can ass cornerbacks and bringing them in here talking about let's see what they can do for us. Man, you got to be kidding me, man. And then you got a collection of some of the worst cornerbacks in the NFL behind the top three. None of these guys you trust. You don't trust P.J. Williams or Patrick Robinson or Ken Crawley and Justin Hardy standing up there. Justin Hardy can't even cover his own bed. He's terrible. Those are four of the worst cornerbacks in the NFL. I got to tell you that. That's why there's no punishment when guys make bad plays. You don't pull them out. Who you gonna put in there? Justin Hardy? Huh? Justin Hardy bought a Pizza Hut or a Papa John's or whatever the hell it is, just in case he don't make it next year. Justin Hardy is now just in case he don't make it on the team. I got a Pizza Hut now. I can just go make pizzas. Just don't drop them, bro. And make sure when you cover the pieces with pepperoni and everything, make sure you do it the right. Oh my goodness, man. Good Lord. Good gracious, man. It was really good. Oh man. Thank you for that, Crash. Kevin says Peyton has been demoted. I thank you for that, Kevin. I read that. Robert Clark says, who that Robbie says it would be a good game to play Taysom more in the Chicago game in his legs. Dada says Taysom never was going to be a real QB. Should just use him more in a better situation. Well, Taysom Hill, I mean, I'm not seeing him throwing the ball, bro. I mean, I like Taysom Hill a lot, but he's not throwing the ball. It's no good to run the packages if you can. Kev says, KB says, run the ball, period. Bottom line. Jim Kev said, those are wild accusations, Q. I know that's what they tell me, bro. Wild accusations. Kelly Bromley, who that to you? Kelly says, Peyton always wants to show the world he can outcoach the other coach across the field. If we play a team that has a new hot coach, he says Peyton has to show the world that he's the smartest coach in the room. And that's true, Kelly. Thank you for your comment. There's several times we've seen that occur where his ego gets out of it and he tries to show up the other guy as opposed to be patient with the run and beat him. You beat him every time, bro. If you just be patient with the run the ball. Notice we having problems with our wide receivers. Emmanuel Sanders is not there because of the C-19. Mike Thomas is not there because of the injury. Callaway is not there because of the injury. But none of your running backs are hurt. How much more nature or destiny, whatever you want to call it, is pointing you to the running attack? I mean, seriously, you don't have no issues with the running backs. Zero issues with the running backs, but your wide receivers. But you're gonna have a 35 to 38 pass attempt game. Watch. And the Saints don't necessarily have to use the wide receivers to beat you. They can go tight ends. They can go running backs like Elvin Kamara, who's leading the team in receptions. So they don't necessarily have to throw or move the ball with the wide receivers. Traquan Smith will give you good coverage. You got Deontay Harris that caught 4 passes. He had a touchdown in the last matchup. So you have players who you can cycle in. That'll make catches for you because we got some pretty good wide receivers. But outside of that, what's the reason of doing that when you don't need to? You got 3-4 healthy. You got 4 active running backs on your depth chart. Could you explain to me why you have 4 active running backs and you're not even running the ball like that? You're running the goddamn ball 25 times a game, and you have 4 active running backs. You want to explain that? Actually 5 because you have to act the fullback in there. Why do you have all those people if you're not going to run the ball? I just don't understand that. Even if you say we got Washington on there for special teams, that's why he keeps that spot. Washington should be not only used for special teams, but he should have been converted to a fullback because that would at least made sense. You could have converted him to a fullback. That way you could have got rid of the bullshit fullback that you have now and freed up that spot so you can add it to your defense. Whether it's a defensive lineman or a cornerback, that could have been a spot that could have been used for the defense because you don't use the fullback but less than 6 or 7 times a game. That's you could give that duty. Matter of fact, you can cut duties. You can give Dwayne Washington half the time and Josh Hill the other half the time. Hell, teach Troutman how to block at the fullback position. I don't give a damn, but you don't need a fullback. You really don't. You could have give that spot, cut that guy, let Dwayne Washington learn that job, let him share that position. Josh Hill, Hartman, Troutman, and Washington share the fullback job. At least that way you can have an extra spot. We don't need no fullback. Because you ain't using that fullback the right way anyway. I'm just saying, it's just a commonsensical thing. You don't need a fullback. Cut that guy and use Washington as the fullback. You mean to tell me that Dwayne Washington can't do what this other guy doing? Are you kidding me? Dwayne Washington averages 5 yards a goddamn carry when you get a ball to him. Look it up. For the Saints, he averages 5 yards a carry. You mean to tell me the guy is 6'2", 235 pounds, runs angrily, can't act as a fullback, but he playing special teams and shit? Come on, man. Cut that out. All right, let's keep it going, man. Live lines open, 504-475-4482. Let's keep it going. Thank you for that, Kelly. Kev, appreciate you. Jordan says the defense does not play the whole game. Run the football. That's right. Run the football. I mean, come on now, Peyton. You hear the great Saint think tank telling you to run the football, and you know it too. But you know what you're going to do? You're going to be a true contrarian and run and do what you want to do. I'm going to win the game the way I want to win it. Just like what an egotistical prick would say and do. Because your ego is out of control. And then a really functional person would say, people keep saying that, is my ego really out of control? maybe I need to live in, maybe I need to humble out a little bit, start meditating and praying and asking God to help me out with that. Because I don't want to be seen as an egotistical person. But no, you know what his mentality is? I don't care what they say. I'm going to do what I want to do. Everybody's saying the same shit over and over again. I'm just saying it harder. I'm just saying it harder because I don't care how you feel about it one way or the other. The truth is the truth, and I'm going to stand on it. Because you're exhibiting qualities of a person whose ego is out of control. The fact that you are facing teams that are shitty run stuffing teams week after week and you continue to throw the ball as opposed to running the ball, show me that you got a heavy ego. You know just like I know. Because I know you know better than that because I know that you come from Bill Parcells. And Bill Parcells was the dude that told you that you needed to run the ball. He was a big run the ball guy. So I know you know what you're doing is wrong. But your thing is, you're going to sit your ass up there and say, we're going to win and beat these teams the way we're going to beat them. And that's why you guys are watching the Saints barely beat teams that are not playoff teams by 3 points. But let's see how that looks when you face teams that know what they're doing. And by the way, remember, the last 2 games that you played against 9 playoff teams, which are against the Panthers and the Chargers, there were a series of 2 penalties called against both those teams. Now, just to let your ass know that. You had a series of 2 penalties called on both those teams. One on the Panthers, one on the Chargers. You think you're going to get any quarter from the referees? Keep having the games where you playing within 3 to 7 points and watch you get screwed by the referees. You can blame that on your head coach because he knows, like we know, that the way you defeat the referees is by blowing the other team out by double digits. That takes them out of the game. And if they're going to cheat, they have to cheat in front of you, which makes it obvious, and they don't like to do that. So the bottom line is, when you're playing against the referees and the other team, you have to play as close to perfect as you can. But how you going to play close to perfect when you going out there doing a ridiculous error-field prone ass game? If you study the statistics in the scouting report, it's telling you that the Chicago Bears are a terrible run-stuffing team. They're a bottom 5 ass team. They give up 120 yards on the ground a game. You average 118. Doesn't this make sense to run the ball? And to couple the fact that you are missing Mike Thomas due to injury, you're missing Emmanuel Sanders due to C-19, and you're missing Marquez Callaway. So 3 of your top 4 wide receivers are missing as well, which means that you should run the ball because nothing wrong with your running backs. All of them are healthy. Anyway, thank you for joining. Let me see if the family members. Okay, is that you, Uncle Paulie? Thank you for joining the Great Saint Think Tank, bro.
What's going on with you?
Nothing much. My friend, how you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing good. I'm glad everybody's doing okay after the storm and everything. You and yours?
Yes, sir. Everybody's fine, my brother. We doing good. How about you, my friend?
Glad to hear that. I'm glad it's over now. Thank God for this cool weather, Q.
Yeah, I agree with you, brother Paul. We've been catching it lately, man, and we still got a few family members that's powers out, but hopefully that'll be done in the next day, and we can get back to get stuff back online,
Well, that's the thing, Q. We try to get Sean Payton to get the Saints online. That's the problem here.
Yeah, and the thing is, we sit up here 4-2. You got a Chicago club. You're going up there. It's windy anyway. We know that Sean Payton is probably going to be another 35 to 38 attempted throw possession game, and the Saints will probably get to rush the ball less than 25 times a game. It's just he can't stop himself, and nobody else is willing to do it either.
He's going to get pass happy every time you critique a defense that you can run on. What do you do? Go out there and throw the ball.
Throw it 50, 40, 50 times, run it 25 times. Absolutely. So I don't know what it means, to be honest with you, brother Paul, because the thing is, like I said, we sit up here and we present the information, the statistics to the family members all we may to try to make sure that we do to bring the analysis correctly. And the reality is that you're missing a lot of wide receiver weapons, although we know they're going to use Alvin Kamara. And I was even reckon that you use Alvin Kamara as a wide receiver in many packages and run Latavius Murray. I mean, that makes common sense. Get Dwayne Washington involved. How about Ty Montgomery? He's off the IR list on the active roster. Let's get some of these guys going. Get him going as well.
You don't want to wear Alvin Kamara out.
Right, that's right.
You need him to run during the game. He's not Roger Craig. Now, Roger Craig was a big enough back. He could catch and run. And, Roger Craig could block, too. Because guess what? They turn around and give that ball to Big Tom Rathman and run up your defense. William Floyd. You know, I watched some of them old Saints and 49ers game, man. You can see how the Saints got their butt beat a lot of times, Q, because the defense would show up, the offense would be in there, and then sometimes the defense would get wore out in time, and the offense couldn't stay on the field. We living in some of them times now. People just don't see it, Q.
Right. Absolutely, Brother Paul. You're right. I mean, we don't have a Tom Rathman. This guy here, what's his name? This Burton fellow. You know, I was saying that, you know, we don't need that position. We don't really need a fullback. If you want a fullback, how about do fullback by committee? Use Dwayne Washington there, use Josh Hill there, use Adam Troutman there. You know, mix it up and use different people and get them on the field there. We don't really need that fullback guy because he gets what? How many reps a game on offense? You know, I think he plays on special teams, but really on offense, it's not really a factor. We could take that slot and pass it to a guy on defense. We can get an extra defensive lineman, perhaps another cornerback that can help out. We can activate on game day. But most certainly, man, we don't really need that guy doing that. I mean, it's just amazing to me. We got 5 running backs. We don't do nothing with half those. It's just 2 of those guys we're actually really using. And Latavius Murray needs his workload upped a bit. We need to give him the ball more. And you know, like I said, using Kamara as a decoy, perhaps you lining up at the wide receiver position, whether it's on the slot or maybe it's on the line, whatever it may be. We have to be able to use Latavius Murray more and possibly get Ty Montgomery in there as well. So, I mean, we have to be able to run the ball against Chicago. You know, this defense is ate up with injuries, and we going in. And usually when you're traveling to a team, this is a physical team. They're going to get after the Saints. So, you know, the more we dominate the run, the less hits that Drew Brees takes. Because you got you got Khalil Mack, who I really have a strange feeling I think he's going to play. And Robert Quinn's there, who gets after the people too. So you got to watch out for Chicago, because Chicago is going, and Hicks is mean as well. So you want to run that football and dominate that line of scrimmage. And the more you run in, the less hits that Drew's going to take. Because you know Terron Armstead is not 100%, and you ask him to guard a Khalil Mack or whatever. I mean, it's just a recipe for the disaster. We have to be able to dominate this team by running the ball first and foremost.
You call it the Q. You call it. Then you got hurt over there. Drew cussed him so many times last week. I thought he just quit and go home. I mean, he really got on Drew bad side. You know, it's bad when your quarterback got no confidence. He got to be, you know, almost with eyes in the back of his head, so he know he ain't gonna hold nobody. You know. So I think Sean Payton, when we do throw the ball, Q, he's gonna have to put Drew in a 3-step drop and pop it, get it out of there. Don't be going no 5 and 7 drops. Drew ain't gonna have enough time to get rid of the ball, Q.
Yeah, we got it. That's true. Lloyd Vaughn, who that to you, Lloyd? Lloyd, big ups to Lloyd Vaughn. He just do the super chat. Big ups. He says, keep the faith. We will run the ball. Thank you, Lloyd. I appreciate your super chat and the positive word right there. We will run the ball. Hopefully we will and make it a staple.
So-called Nagy gonna want to blitz some too, Q. Listen, you know, Drew don't like that pressure coming straight up the middle.
That's right.
You know, no quarterback really, if you want to be truthful about it. You know, Tom Brady, he don't mind if you pressuring from the outside, but if they're coming straight up the middle, oh, he hates it. You know, and it to me, Q, like you were talking about the defense. To me, I know they have team meetings, but to me, I think you need to try to get those players one-on-one. You know, Sean Payton, when he first came there, he was good at this. He would get the players one-on-one. All right, get the playbook, let's go. Now, you do this. No, don't turn that way. No, back right here. All right, when I call this play, I need you to do. But just go out there and get water and really go through the play with the players. Tell them, no, that ain't the way you're going to do. You're going to turn that way. What if the quarterback pump fakes and then, yeah, you jump? You know, but I don't see that, Q. All this practicing and all this stuff, you know, don't get me started over Jim Moore practice. Practicing for what? You ain't getting no better. It's just wasting time. You know, it's trying to really teach people. Just go out there and whatever. You know, you can't play by the seat of your pants, man. You got to have your feet on the ground if you're going to be stable, you know, and that's why everything's so herky-jerky out there. I really don't think there's no teaching really going on, hands-on, one-on-one with them guys. Because, Q, it seems like every time you talk somebody up, a game or two later, they play with. Like, you was high on CD Deuce, now he just fell through the floor. What you think about it?
Yeah, that's a part of it too, Brother Paul. We got to, you know, we noticed that, you know, the entire unit is not playing good. And usually when that happens, it's schematic, you know, as people are lost. And I think they're kind of gambling because The linebackers can't cover the tight ends, so we have an issue. So with them getting killed with that, they realizing that, and I'm thinking, okay, if that's the issue, then we have to put a linebacker out there who could cover the tight ends. Hopefully, if you got a rookie like Zach Bourne, you spent all that draft capital on him, you might as well use him. We know they gave Demario Davis the money after they paid Kamara. They turn around and give Demario a 3-year extension on his deal. Well, I thought he would be on his way out. The Saints elected to keep Demario Davis, which means that Alex Anzalone's on his way out. There's no way they pay both of them. And then you got Zach Bourne sitting up there as a draft pick. So obviously, you might want to consider trading Alex Anzalone. Probably like, trade Alex Anzalone to Q. They're not going to play Alex Anzalone. It was one of the two who were going to get the money. And Demario got the contract, and then of course Alex didn't. And then you couple that by the fact that Alex is not looking really good. He looks really cautious out there. And then you look at the fact that they committed all those resources to drafting Zach Bourne, and they got to get him on the field. So, and they're not playing 4-3 defenses anymore. They play that like less than 5 or 10 times a game. So it's not a staple defense. They're in a modified nickel. It's the predominant defense of the Saints. So it's not going to show you 3 linebackers anymore. That's not the case. So we don't need to have guys like that. You got to have a guy that can cover and play the run and pass. Demario Davis is that guy for one, and Alex Anzalone is not in the future of the team, in my opinion. Zach Bourne is. So Zach Bourne, as sooner or later, at some time, Zach Bourne has to see the field. Why not now? He has the speed to cover the tight ends. No, whether or not he didn't do much of that, a lot of that in college, but that doesn't mean that he can't do that now. You can use that speed and athleticism, and if he's a rookie, let him learn. But it's better me seeing a rookie trying to learn to cover the tight end as opposed to one who playing scared, who can't, who doesn't have a future with the team.
Craig Roberts getting lost. He in the party and don't know what's going on.
Oh my goodness, Craig! They need to get and Craig Robertson. Like I said, Brother Paul, they've been trying to get rid of Craig Robertson for a while. Anthony Chiquillo was supposed to be the guy that replaced Craig Robertson. He got hurt prior.
They get out of trading camp.
He's the luckiest man in the world, but he keeps making it.
Wow.
But you're seeing what he looked like when he had an opportunity to play, and he ran off the field. That was really terrible. Watching him, because he ran off the field as opposed to breaking down and waiting for the running back / wide receiver to peek around the blocker. The guy was you just be patient and wait there and pin him up against the sideline. You had him. But Craig Robertson runs full speed out of bounds. The guy runs behind him for a touchdown. That's unrealistic. You're an old ass veteran. You should not be doing that. And that just like, man, let's get this dude off the field, bro. Because rookies wouldn't even done that.
If he did that back at Bora time or even Ditka, if it's certainly Jimmy Johnson, he would have been on the team, and next week Jimmy would have cut him right there.
Yeah, that was dumb, man.
After he chewed him out on the sideline, I mean, he got it right on 1-on-1. Ditka was the type of coach, man. He cussed out his punt and his kicker. He grabbed Kevin Butler by the face mask one time and cussed him out. I'm like, dog, Ditka. You had to have nerves of steel to deal with him, Well, but like I said, I know every coach is different, but I just don't see that with Dennis. I don't see that with Sean Payton no more. You just mess up a play with Sean Payton, he'd follow you all the way down that sideline. Come here, I talk to you right now. And he'd get on you during the break and chew you out and go right back to coach.
He don't do that no more, Brother Paul, because he's too busy looking at that play sheet, calling plays as opposed to letting the offensive coordinator do that. Because the coordinator not running up and down the field checking the defense to find out what happened on that play. That's what the head coach do. The head coach go over there and talk to him, what's going on? Or he yelling at the players, look here, man, we got to get this together. Sean Payton too fixed on the offensive plays, calling the plays and all this nonsense. Come on, man, what the hell are you doing? If you got the defense falling apart, you need to.
He looking at the play sheets, but it must be chicken scratch, or whatever he called it. Don't hardly make no sense half the time.
Yeah, it's just really pathetic if you ask me. I mean, it's a point where you got to consider these things, because we got to do better than what we're doing in terms of as a team. We got to do better than that. We can't allow ourselves to sit up here and keep losing, and keep winning these games barely by 3, and then you're gonna face a team like Seattle. Now, truth be told, if you were playing Seattle on Sunday as opposed to the Chicago Bears, would you be able to beat them? If you was playing, if you were playing Green Bay again, on Sunday, would you be able to beat the Packers? Would you be able to beat any of the top teams in the NFC right now if you're the New Orleans Saints? Are you confident in your secondary or your team as a whole to beat these teams when you're struggling to beat teams that are not playoff teams? You know, teams that your opponents are blowing out by 20 points.
You're so right, because we could be playing the 49ers Sunday or the Chiefs, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we get blessed right now catching, you know, Chicago where they at, because we could be playing, you know, an upper echelon team, you know. And like you say, they going to expose that secondary. I don't know what Dennis Allen going to be able to do. Like I said, he got to change his scheme. He needs to cut that playbook in half. He's going to have to simplify some things. He's going to move some. Now, in the Tampa Bay game, Q, I got to give it Dennis Allen. He have to take that. It wasn't perfect, but that was his better defensive call type of game where he was switching people out and rotating. But Q, if you look at it, we had so many injuries so already on both sides of the ball. It's really getting ridiculous. I mean, come on, you got can't guard Mike, he out. You got Emmanuel Sanders out. You got Fowler out. You got Callaway, he's not 100%. I mean, Q, it's just going to get to be a mash unit just at the wide receiver, you know. Yep. But I had a feeling this was going to happen with Michael Thomas. You know, every time Q, the guy get paid big money the next season, he either have an off year or he's injured. And, you know, ownership hate that. You know what I mean?
Yep. Absolutely, Brother Paul, you're right. And that's the issue. It's, you know, the personnel standpoint. Now, if you have a scheme and the scheme's not working, and of course, he made that Dennis Allen had a well-called game, but he hadn't been able to duplicate that. Over the last several weeks or so, the Saints defense have barely been getting a win. They've really, in terms of the secondary, is really not really pulled it together in the way you would want to see a veteran unit pull it together. There's still a lot of non-communication issues. Was ridiculous. I mean, the only thing changed back there is the fact that you've added Malcolm Jenkins there. So adding Malcolm Jenkins to the secondary does that to it. You know, so and it's the thing is like, okay, you using Jenkins, it's not his strength to cover tight ends. You're going to have to get you a linebacker to cover that tight end. Find your most athletic linebacker and put him on the tight end. Even if that means benching Alex Anzalone, bench his ass and put your most athletic linebacker to cover the tight end.
Don't have the speed to stay with no tight end. I don't care if he's second, third, or one off the practice squad. He ain't be able to stay with him, you know, foot speed. No.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, okay, it's not hard. I mean, it's not hard. You just have to first you have to see the problem, then you have to recognize it. First, you got to recognize there's a problem, which is problem recognition or problem awareness. First, you have to see the problem, recognize it as a problem, then automatically go into solution mode. So if we recognize it's an issue with the safeties, why is the lone safety, why is our other safety, Jenkins, guarding the tight end? Well, it's because our linebackers are not able to guard the tight end. Then the question is well, why not? Why are our tight ends not being able to guard the other guy? Why are we using a safety to guard the tight end? As opposed to the safeties both be in a position where they can be comfortable. Why are we using a one safety look and using a safety to cover? Why does the other linebacker can't guard the tight ends? What's going on with that? Well, if it's an athleticism issue, he needs to be removed so we can have a more athletic, a guy who can do it. So if that's the case, then once we do that, then we can then move the safety back to a too high look where it belongs. And then that'll help Marcus Williams out. He'll still be pretty lost at times, but at least Jenkins is back there to tell him, get back over here. Or, let me do this. You stay over here. Whatever you need to do. He'll be within communication range where he can at least keep an eye on him. But anything else, like that's a personnel change right there. But to march Jenkins out as the guy that covers the tight end at that juncture, and then you keep doing what you're doing, keep doing that and watch how they eat your lunch. You can't leave Marcus Williams as a single high safety because he's not good at doing that. He gets lost. He takes poor angles and he's a really poor tackler. So I mean, you setting yourself, you a moron, a chump, and an idiot if you have a safety back there who you know can't tackle, who's your weakest tackler in a defensive backfield, and you using this guy who you know takes poorish angles to be your last line of defense. You a moron, an idiot, and a chump if you do something like that. That's almost like you letting somebody that's blind, a blind person, guard your house and giving them an elephant gun. Don't be surprised if you get your ass shot when you come there. You know, I mean, is that you? No, I mean, I live here. Oh, okay, go right on in. You know, so I mean, it's absolutely insane, man.
You're like giving a blind man the key to your 2020 Lincoln Navigator. Say, go drive. Just take it off.
Yeah, take it for a spin for me around the corner. I'll be waiting for you. Don't be surprised if you don't come. Right. Don't be surprised, man. You don't see that man. You go around the corner and the truck upside down. And the man, you know, it's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous.
That you said it, Q. That's Sean Payton. It is probably this offense. Not like I said, you got four of your receivers that you really depending on. They're out edge you. If you don't run the ball, that's just like being blind, deaf, dumb, and stupid. You know, you ain't got no choice. You got four running backs on there. You need to run the ball because not just because it's such a need, because you're going to be in Chicago. It's going to be cool. It's going to be windy. It's kind of hard to throw the ball when you go into the wind. With the ball behind you, you kind of get where the ball may fell on you, you know. But Drew's pretty good about trying to, you know, deal with that. But when you're throwing against the wind, the ball will sail on you and all that, and that, you know, increases your chance of throwing interceptions, you know what I mean?
Right.
When you're doing that. And so, you know, field position is going to be critical in this game. Say you need to come off running. First play need to be to Latavius Murray. Soften them up with Murray. Did bring Alvin Kamara, and you know, and don't run him up the middle. Put him in, like I said, spaces. Don't do no look at them screens and stuff. Don't do that. Don't bring Taysom Hill in there after the drive get hot and have him throw something out of whack. Don't do that. You know, like I say, if you go put it back there, if he ain't gonna throw the ball, he need to be out there unless he, you know, as a receiver. Don't put him back there and run nothing. You know, I mean, it don't make no sense. QE up here almost the middle of the season. This, you know, like I said, you ain't building those spaceships, This is a kid game. It shouldn't be that hard to figure this thing out. What you think, you?
Hey, Brother Paul, you on point as always, bro. And that's the thing. But I make light of it because it's obvious, man. You know, you're dealing with somebody who has a habit of making difficulties out of something that's so relatively simple. The answer is there. Your offense, your playbook is compromised. Majority, almost half of it is compromised. How do you know? It took 10 years for them to catch up to you, or 10 plus years to catch up to your playbook. They figured out a lot of your playbook. I conservatively say 45%, but it's more than half the playbook has been figured out. The issue is, why have you not come up with different schemes or packages, or just simply became the running team that we know? Whether they know you running the ball or not, it's one of the things is whether they'll be able to stop you. The people believe to stop the Saints is the way you protect against the run. They do not see you as a running threat. They do not see you as that. So if that's the case, if that's what they don't see you as, you become that. Because the Saints actually do have the power to run the ball and be very well about it. It is the mentality of the coach which creates the ideology of the team, meaning the attitude or the mindset of the team is a finesse team. The Saints are known as a finesse team. They like to throw the ball all around the field. See, that's due to Sean Payton. Yeah. But if you have a harder stance in there, and then you say, you know what, we're going to trick them. We're going to become a run-based team, and then when we start running the ball and then they start stopping, trying to go for the run, then we start throwing it, and then we'll switch back to running it, then we'll switch back to throwing it. When you do that, then you keep them their head on a swivel, you keep them confused, and then you'll start seeing those 10-point, 20-point wins, and then you'll start competing with the Kansas City Chiefs and guys like that, because that's what they do well. They fool you with the run, they throw the ball, they run it, they're running and throwing the ball equally well, and they make it look easy. The reason why we don't look easy doing it is because the Sean Payton's play calling, they know. And instead of him seeing that they know your play calling, he's stubborn. So he's going to say, I don't care if they know, we're going to force it or not. Well, if you that stupid, you need to get your ass up out of here. Because the bottom line is, this might work for the regular season, but it's a different level when the playoffs come. Like I say, I'm happy for wins in the regular season, but I've often said this, I'm documenting and saying it for years now, is that I know they're going to win at least 10 games in a regular season. I'm more concerned about the playoffs. Because if you're going to run the football, it's best you get it right now, Run it correctly now, and then when you get into the playoffs, because you're going to need the running attack and not 20 freaking stinking running plays. I'm talking about a 30-plus package of running plays in these games to dominate. You don't have to throw the ball 38 times against the Chicago Bears. Be looking out for that. What? 35, 36, 37, 38 times a game you're going to throw the ball against the Chicago Bears. And I'm sitting up here showing you the receipts on screen about this team's giving up 120 yards a game, letting you run the ball, and you're going to try to force the ball down the field when they're letting you have they're giving you $120 on the ground a game. That's $120 with 3 rushing touchdowns right there.
No, that's not too much to ask for Sean Payton. Now, we ain't asking him that hard now. That don't even make no sense, Q. That's just like a petulant child. You tell him, no, they going to go do it. No, you can't have no ice cream, Junior, and you go in there and he in the ice box and you hear the bowl rattling ice cream in his mouth. Junior, did you have some ice cream? No, he got ice cream on his mouth and everywhere his hand, and he going to lie and say he didn't do it. Sean Payton lie a lot, too.
Well, he do. He a politician.
He Davenport 100%, then he'll be out for the next 3 weeks hanging there. It's always something with him. It's like Where's Waldo? We can find him better than we can Davenport. It's just they got to get their mind out of their behind, Q, and figure out what cause. Like I say, Sean Payton, he keep thinking it's a game. It's, like I say, we ain't playing Detroit. We ain't playing. The Cleveland Browns have got better. Ain't no sorry teams on the schedule, Q. You still got 49ers and Kansas City and these big league balls you got to beat. You keep, like I said, you gave a warning yesterday. Keep on thinking you gonna win by 2 or 3.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Cause people, that's the vision. The people saying, "Well, Q, we running right now." What's the problem, bro? Why are you so hard on them right now? I said because you supposed to beat Chargers. You're supposed to beat the Panthers. What am I sitting up here popping champagne for? And you beat them. You beating 2 9 playoff teams barely by 3 points. You're like, well, I'm happy to have a win. Right. Well, that's fine to have a win. That's fine. But you're supposed to win. You're supposed to be a double-digit team. If you're a Super Bowl team, you're supposed to have at least 10 to 11 wins in the season to represent for the playoffs. You're supposed to beat these teams. And if you're a Super Bowl team, a lot of times you're supposed to dominate competition. The mere fact that you're barely beating 9 playoff teams, right? You're supposed to where the blowout games at. And it's like you that's going to get that. Listen, bro, if you can't blow out the Panthers who's still in your offense, if you can't blow out the Chargers who did a straight up rookie-ass quarterback in there, and you made that guy look like a young Ben Roethlisberger, man, come on, man. And that's what I'm saying. And then they're like, well, the Saints got the win. I'm happy for the win. That's right. That's fine to be happy for a win, family. But the only thing I'm asking is, what if when you play teams like Seattle, Kansas City, Baltimore, when you play the top echelon teams that's going to be in the playoffs waiting for you, will you be able to beat these teams is what I'm asking you. Can you beat these teams? And when they're adding talent, Seattle still kicking ass. Arizona's another young team that's kicking ass. Guess what? Let me label this for you. Arizona traded to get Marcus Golden, defensive end from the Giants, to help their pass rush. They were already winning before that. Now they got even better because they added a fierce pass rusher with it. The Seattle Seahawks went and traded for Carlos Dunlap, a pretty damn good defensive coordinator that spent his the defensive lineman who spent his last 11 years with the Bengals and has over 70 sacks in his career. They added him to their team. And then you have other teams like Baltimore who signed Dez Bryant and traded for Yannick Ngakoue. And these guys are going to contribute from a starter capacity on their team right away. You got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that did the AB move, plus they signed Steve McClendon, who came over from the Jets, who is the guy that's going to fill the void left by Vita Vea. See, they're preparing. This is how Super Bowl or bust teams move. They're not just simply getting 3-point wins. They're blowing teams out by double digits. So their offense, they're winging the ball down the field. They're not letting injuries stop them neither, but they're also running the ball and they're balanced. Their defense is playing on fire. So anytime, I'm a realist, man. That's what I'm saying. I'm a realist. And like I joke and people was laughing when I said you sweating your ass off for a 3-point win. People were laughing about that, and laughing big time about it, but I'm serious. You're not supposed, you sitting up there with your, grabbing the couch seats, watching, hoping and praying that the team miss a field goal for you to get an opportunity to win the game. That's, you'll have some games like that, but your team is giving up touchdowns to teams that they supposed to be dominating. Where's the killer mentality? Where's the defense mentality?
That's that old Saints football, that Q, where you're trying to hang on and hope Martin Anderson can, knock it through for you. That's old football.
Man, I've seen enough of that,
bro.
bro.
A lot of them old games that I've been watching, it's just like now, it don't make no sense. It's like pulling teeth, your offense struggling. Q, you got to go to the shotgun, and it's 3-5. That looks pretty bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right.
Push the running game,
I'm just amazed at Malcolm Jenkins' addition to the secondary. It's the same secondary we have, same style of plays, same defensive coordinator, same secondary coaches, same everything. But Malcolm Jenkins makes the secondary look that bad. And I'm not blaming it on Malcolm Jenkins. I'm saying that they're not playing him correctly. Malcolm Jenkins, you don't use Malcolm Jenkins to cover up the tight end. You get a tight end, you get a tight end off the bench, or another guy, not a tight end, you get a linebacker, your most athletic linebacker. You drafted Bourne, you big on Bourne, you talk about Bourne. Well, let's see Bourne get on the field. Alex Anzalone don't have a future with the team. We know that his contract up after the end of the year. They gave Demario Davis the money. We know that, so he can't have a future with the team because they got a linebacker, cheaper versions of linebackers that can do what an Alex Anzalone do. And if you all about keeping Caden Ellis is a guy that should be able to play the pass and run. Let's see what he can do. Because you stink anyway covering the tight end. Why not let the guy get an opportunity? He's supposed to be one of the most athletic linebackers you have. Let's see what he can do, because you ain't doing nothing with the personnel you got in there already. Let's switch these guys up. Let's not roll out these same guys over again and say, let's try it again. And these guys are getting burnt, and there's no repercussions for none of that. There's no penalty for you getting burnt. There's no penalty for you not knowing your plays. There's no penalty for you taking poor angles. There's no penalties for you missing tackles. There's no penalty for you dropping interceptions, Malcolm Jenkins. There's no penalty for none of that. It's just whatever you do it. You just try better next time, you hear? No, that's absolutely complete dysfunctional nonsense is what I'm saying. And right now, people are looking at the fact that the Saints are 4-2, where they could very well be the opposite. It could really do, because if you look at these games, you could be the opposite of it. And it just so happens that this other team missed field goals. This other team did what they had to do. Remember, you had to go into overtime, and Marshawn Lattimore tackled the guy and pulled him away from the thing. They could very well put themselves in position to do that. I mean, it's just...
That's true, Q. That could have been Marcus Williams. That'd have been a touchdown. He'd have been standing over there.
He would have gave it to him. He would have tackled him and held his face mask. He would have done something like that. But that's what I'm saying at the end of the day, man. We cannot keep doing this, man. We got to figure out what we're going to do there. We got to solve the tight end dilemma. And guess what? It gets worse, because you got Jimmy Graham this week and Gronkowski next week. So, I mean, you're going to have to figure it out sooner or later. So, I mean, if you got Jimmy Graham, and then you got to fix the red zone, too. Hold on for a second, Brother Paul. Hold that thought. All right, fam, we got another family members on live. Who's on the line, fam?
You talking to the Ice Man, checking in.
What's up, Ice Man? How you doing, brother?
I'm all right. I'm pretty good, man.
Good to hear from you, my brother. Just hold tight. We got Brother Paulie right ahead of you. When he get done, bro, I'll bring you right on in there, Ice Man.
Yeah, I already know the protocol. Q, you good? Let OG get him. You know what I'm saying? Let him do his thing, man.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate you, bro. All right, Brother Paul, back to you, bro. The floor is yours. You're absolutely right.
That what bothers me, though, Q. To sit back there, years ago, the Saints had some pretty good tight ends. Hobie Brenner, Mike Tyson, Irv Smith. But we see Jerry Cook come out there and he catch 2 or 3 passes of 40, 50 yards. He think he did something. I mean, and the other teams come out, they try to get 10 catches. He got 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. I'm like, come on, man. Yeah. I mean, why is you whole hamstring and Troutman? Let the man play. He didn't use Josh Hill right. He ain't catching like he was. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
You gotta give Drew another option, especially with all your receivers hurt. Like I said, Q, you got to go to the shotgun. It's 3-5. That's your offense is really kind of sad that you can't trust your running back to pick up them 5 yards. And guess what? After you miss, you're gonna have to punt the ball.
Right.
I'm like you. I'm tired of all these third short or 4th short, punt the ball. Man, go for it, Sean Payton. But don't throw the ball 10 yards behind the line thinking you're going to break 10 tackles and take it home. No, that ain't how that works.
you know, and put Kamara in a better position. You know, I know he got the contract. They tried to run him in the ground, but keep on. He gonna get his bell rung too, and you gonna lose him. You got to put these players in a position not to get them hurt, and not to them to be playing down. You got to play up. You get them where they can play up and where they can shine. Not come out there dull as brass. You know, Q.
Mm-hmm.
You're not polishing the guys with give them their best plays. He like Sean Payton picked the worst play they want to give to Kamara. All right, I need you to get this 15 yards. It's 3rd and 15. He gonna run the ball. Kamara, are you some kind of fool? They do stupid stuff like that. And then he goes sit there with a smirk on his face, mad because it didn't work. Yeah, you thought you gonna break all them tackles? No. You know, and your offensive line, it don't make no sense. You're better, them guys better. The offensive line get hot when you start running the ball good. When you start running the ball good, then you can kind of throw it, and they get warmed up to pass blocking. You know, but you trying to make the Drew can't do it like that no more, man. I mean, it don't make no sense. Why you got him throw the ball 45, 50 times, Q? It don't make no sense. Drew don't like being used like that. You know, and Drew been around 20-some years, Q. He ought to be able to call some of his own plays now. He ought to be done got that kind of respect. What you think?
Yeah, I mean, that's a part of it. You know, it's Drew Brees has been known to audible a lot of pass plays to running plays. But, you know, like if Sean Payton has a way, I noticed that you call for the running game and he'll give you a running play out of a passing play. Or he'll give you a running play out of a pass scenario. Like, say, for instance, you have Drew Brees back there and he has Kamara behind him, split to the right. Well, actually directly behind him, and then once the ball snapped, Kamara will step to the right, and he fires out of the backfield for a route or whatever, or they'll draw him. He'll hit him with a draw, and he'll go up the middle or whatever, depending on whatever. But it's like, okay, I get that, you know, but let's get the running game. Let's get the what's wrong with coming back with the power run attack? I mean, what's wrong with that? You have a back that can do that. I mean, you see what the Tennessee Titans do with Henry. I mean, the guy is ferocious. It's hard to stop those type of runners. You got to be able to give them that type of back. Hit them with Latavius Murray. And
Vrabel, even though some of that short yardage situation, I don't know if you've seen it or not, he'll just direct snap it to Henry. You know, all that time to hand it off, that's killing time.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you gotta need direct snap the ball on 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5 to Kamara and let him work with it. You trying to give it to Drew and turn around, that's taking up time. The defense is back there on you by that time. You know, because your line only got so many seconds to block anyway, you know.
I say he need to operate it more like a combo, man. He got to stop. He features Kamara and treats Latavius Murray as a running back. And I've heard the commentators say you got 1A and 1AB. I says no, that's incorrect. Peyton don't see Latavius Murray as 1B. He sees him as simply as 1A and as 2. And 2 is Latavius Murray. He's his backup. It's not a combo deal because it should be a Thunder Lightning combo, and then you throw a third running back in there to spell him. But that's not the case. This guy is so pass addicted, it's ridiculous. And even though it'll benefit him better to beat teams by running the ball, and then you can still throw the ball. If you establish the run, you can still just start pounding them with the pass because you'll have them turned around. But he can't even do that. And then there's the ridiculousness of what he does. Like, he'll operate the play action without establishing a run. That fools nobody. Then he play actions to fullbacks and into Latavius Murray and all this kind of stuff. And Latavius Murray, I mean, who does that? Who runs the play action without establishing a run? That the play action only works if you establish the run. Because they'll pause and see what you're doing, whether you're running or pass. The play action pauses the safeties or pauses the defensive personnel, and you take advantage of them for that split minutia, minute, whatever it is. Then you take advantage of them right there. It meant to pause the defense for a second just for you to, you get an opportunity. But they're not pausing on you if you're not play action, if you're not actually running the ball to establish it. Why are you running play action if you haven't established the run? That's the big question. You don't do that. That's not how it works. And then the like basic principles like that of how this not nothing new. Everybody knows that you have to run the ball to get the full perk of play action. You got to run it because it creates the split, the confusion in their minds. Are they running or are they passing? They're not fooled on that because they know you're a passing team. So if everybody knows you're a passing team, stop passing it so much and start running it so you confuse them. So you have an advantage. You got to confuse them.
That's so true. It did too with the Saints. You know, it's kind of like almost like having Steve Walsh back there. Okay, if you don't want to throw the ball, let's call Drew King. If you don't want to throw the ball, DQ, all they got to do is run slants, run wide receiver options, run plays that's going to get you 10, 15, 20 yards. And if you don't want to throw the ball deep, you know, I mean, you can't keep making excuses now. You know, I'm talking, man, I mean, not you, I'm talking about Sean Payton.
No,
now, you can formulate plays that can get you, you know, cause first down, 2 rushes, first down, you got to get that first down every 10 yards. It should, like I said, it should be brain surgery and a heart attack to get 10 yards. Because if you don't keep the drive, you're going to have to bring your punter, you're going to have to clean them after the elephants. And like I said, you keep punting the ball to your opponent, you keep giving them chances to beat you, and eventually they're going to get you.
Eventually. They're not stupid, man. I'm telling you, the smart coaches know your tendencies, and sometimes when they know your tendencies, it's time to switch up your tendencies to keep them confused. That's smart stratagem, bro. You don't go and do what they know. That's not how it's supposed to be done. You don't go do what you know what they're gonna do. You do something different to confuse them. If they know you're gonna be a passing first team, you don't go in there passing. You go in there running. And then when they switch, then you hit them with the pass. And when they switch back, then you hit them with the. That's what it is. It's a constant game of adjustments where you keep your opponent on edge and keeping his head on a swivel. That's what the game is. That's what the game is, doing what your opponent, to the opposite of what your opponent thinking you're going to do. That's how you win these contests. If you're doing what they expect you to do, more than likely you're going to have difficulties in winning because you're trying to beat them the way they know you're trying to beat them, if you can fill me out on that. So that's what I'm saying at the bottom line. But Brother Paul, I got...
You know, they're running out of gas in that third and fourth quarter. And that's the time you really need to be, you know, rotating your players and running the ball anyway, Q.
True. Absolutely. But, you know, that's absolutely true. But Brother Paul, I got Iceman behind you. We got about, like I said, about another 5 minutes of show left. I'm going to give Iceman an opportunity to get his thoughts in. You know, we got to.
That's good, man. Iceman, blow that coal on them. Straighten them out now.
Appreciate you. Thank you, Brother Paul. Appreciate you. Who that to you, my brother?
All right.
All right, Iceman, chiming in, my brother. Welcome into the show, my man. I'm gonna give you the remaining 5 minutes. I can hear you, bro.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man, I ain't gonna be too long, man. Really, man, Uncle Paul, he I mean, you know, he said it all. You know what I'm saying? He said exactly what was on my mind. I had a couple points I was going to share with the family. Nothing too crazy. A couple things. You know, can y'all still hear me?
I can hear you, bro.
Okay, all right, cool. Couple things. First thing was I'm looking at Sean Payton going into this game. I want to see what he does. I want to see if he has another, just another collapse of the mental where he's trying to throw the ball all over the place. Swade said something on a couple lives ago that I thought was very interesting. So I jotted that down. He said that he hopes that the Saints don't look past the Bears looking at the Buccaneers. I thought that was very interesting because the last couple of years, the Saints have been overlooking some opponents and look no further than the Falcons game, you know, after the bye week.
Yep.
You know, so they have, you know, had tendencies to they overlooked the Falcons looking at the 49ers game. You know what I mean? So, you know, we got to look out and watch out for that. I thought that was a real interesting point by him.
That is a good point.
Man, running the football. You said it, Q. Running the football is key, man. I don't understand what's the difference. You ran Mark Ingram and Kamara in a perfect harmony. What's the difference with Latavius Murray? I don't understand the difference. Well, is it because he's not a Sean Payton guy? Is it because you didn't draft him? That's why you don't want to run him? And if that's the case, that's pathetic, man. That's pathetic. If that's the case, you don't want to run him because he's not a homegrown talent. That's pathetic, man. You could use that dude, and you got him on this team. And if you're not going to use him, why you know what you paid him for then? You know, why you do that to the salary cap? You could have used that money in defensive resources if you wasn't going to run Latavius Murray. I thought that was, you know, that's just something else I want to see, you know, the game plan. I don't really like bring this type of stuff up when it comes to the Saints, but I got to say this, man. The spiritual component to this team seems to be in an imbalance. And by that, I mean, I don't see the same fire and desire out of this team. I'm not seeing the same, just the same want to. Like, I don't understand. I don't know what it is, but this team just, I haven't seen it click yet. I haven't seen the Saints play a well-rounded game where all facets of the team has been outstanding yet. I haven't seen that game yet. 1 week the offense doing good. Well, not 1 week, but it seems like every week the defense is trailing behind. The offense has, been kind of putting the pieces together. But I haven't seen the whole unit, special teams, offense, and defense. They have not played complementary football, man. And that's really that's really what I want to see. I haven't seen that yet. Man, Cam Jordan, man. My eyes is on Cam Jordan in this game, man. I don't want to hear no excuses, nothing about no double teams. I don't want to hear nothing about we didn't, I'm getting chip blocked. Like I told y'all before, he's too great, too talented to be making, the double team excuses, man. Because I didn't see the Saints double team other people on the defensive line, and they still get blown the hell up. So I don't understand what's the difference with Cam Jordan doing it. So, that's something else. And I think we need to make some moves in the secondary, man. And I think it is a shame that the Saints don't try to bring somebody more of a veteran cornerback or a veteran safety in here just to give guys competition. I made that point a couple lives ago with Marshawn Lattimore. He could play as lackadaisical as he wants, and he don't have anybody that will make him keep the same intensity for extended periods of time. And I've been trying to make that point because I could see it. These guys are not there. There's no fear of losing their jobs, and that's the crazy part. Because, I mean, hell, in damn near any other profession, if you're stanking up the joint, you could lose your job, So I don't understand what's going on with that. But, the secondary, if I was them, I'm over the Williams & Williams law firm. I'm over the Eminem brothers, Malcolm and Marcus. I'm over all these little businesses they got going on, and Justin Hardy buying Hardys and all that. I'm over it, man. I'm over it. Let's get rid of Marcus and Malcolm. Let's give them to New England or whatever y'all gonna do. Let's bring some veteran cornerbacks in here so we could stop seeing the ball go deep on the secondary. As far as that, what I would do is if I was Sean Payton, what I'm gonna do is I'm getting Marcus and Malcolm up out of here. I'm putting Chauncey and DJ Swearinger as my safeties. You go out there and you go get, Gilmore or whatever. Put him as the, the number one or number two, however you want to do it, and put Jenkins in the slot. Plain and simple. I don't know why the Saints don't want to do it. They got, they got the resources. Mickey Loomis is a cap wizard. He could make it fit, I don't know, man. This is, I'm just caught up on the fact that I don't want the Saints to overlook the Bears because they had a bad performance their last game. And I don't want the Saints to overlook nobody because we have a knack for doing that. And you are right, Q. We're not supposed to be we're not supposed to be struggling against these non-playoff ass teams, man. That really opened my eyes about the Saints, man. And that's why I feel like I'm justified in saying whatever spiritual component that is in this team, the camaraderie aspect of it, the all together, the us against the world type of mentality that you're supposed to have, I don't see any of that in this team. I don't see no togetherness. Like, I don't see there's no, because when you're together, you can hold people accountable. If that's really, your brothers in arms type of thing like that, and y'all locking in unison and y'all, everybody is laser focused and pinpoint focused on one goal, and then you do that as a team, I don't see any of that in the Saints, man. I don't see any want to, and that starts with the head coach. The coach, he's so busy. I feel like Sean Payton is so worried about stats and statistics and hot dogging and beating his chest and all this type of stuff that he puts the team in harm's way and puts us in a really bad position, man, to win games. And I'm like you, Q. I don't give a damn about none of these regular season things, man. I don't, man. Because dude had 149 catches last season, and then we got bounced in the damn wild card, 13-3. I care less about no 13-3, bruh. Because then my point is, the people that care about the 13-3, the Patriots went 16-0 and didn't win the damn Super Bowl. Do we talk about that team? No, because no one gives a damn about that. You know, it's at the end of the day, it's about Lombardis, man. And the Saints, they should be sitting on about 3 or 4 Lombardis, man. We should be, you know, it should be better than reliving and putting that VHS in and them DVDs of Breeze holding his kid while the confetti falling, man. That was a beautiful moment, bro. But I want more of that. And there's nothing wrong with wanting more of that, man. I demand that the Saints be the team that they tell us that they are. You tell us you're a Super Bowl team, I haven't seen anything these last, and we can't make the excuse about the preseason. Ladies and gentlemen, we in week 8, and we still seeing the same things, man. So I'm demanding that Sean Payton and the organization, Gail Benson, everybody, that they stop playing with us, and I'm demanding that they be the team that they tell us that they are. If you're a Super Bowl champion, show me that you're a Super Bowl contender in free agency. Go get the pieces that you need. If this is Super Bowl or bust year, I need you to play like it. I need the defense to do what they're supposed to do. I don't want to hear no excuses. Y'all all been in the same system. Some people in this defense, we got all pros littered all throughout this defense. Anything less than the top 5 defense is unacceptable from the New Orleans Saints. They have the talent to do it. Top 10, top 5, whatever. They got the talent to be a top 5 defense. You got all pros littered throughout this whole defense. From the defensive line, linebackers to the secondary. You got too much draft capital and all that stuff plugged into this team on the defensive side. Anything short of a top 5 defense is uncivilized. And I don't understand it. But I'm not going to go off, man. I ain't going to go off tonight. I ain't got a lot of time. But, you know, that's just some of the things that I want to say, man. I want to see what Sean Payton does. Yes, I know we 4-2. But, man, these wins, that's not it, man. This is not building the confidence of the family base to let us know that you're serious about what you're saying. Because right now, it's looking like hogwash right now, bro. All it's looking like is a bunch of politician talk about Super Bowls, but, you know, saying your off-season acquisitions don't reflect that. All your adversaries around you are getting better. You know what I'm saying? Like you pointed out, Q, the team that won the Super Bowl, they went and got a running back that, you know what I'm saying, they could have won without, hell, they was winning without him. They went and got him to shore up the running attack even more. You know, so we gotta do better, man. All of these canned goods and the great values and all of that, the Ken Crawleys and all of that. I'm telling you, man, that's not it, bro. This is not it. This is not what you're supposed to be doing. And quite frankly, man, if we go keep it 100, man, the Saints just got to do a better job, man. I'm talking about the defense, talking about the offense. I'm happy to see that some of the young guys are getting these reps, and because we could use that down the line if somebody goes down, you know, God forbid. But that's good that they're getting repetitions in there right now. So, man, but that just Sean Payton, man, I need him to get his head on straight, because it just goes to show you, would we have known how good Callaway was if MT and Sanders didn't go down? Would we have known how good this dude could be if they didn't go down? And that's the problem. You're supposed to have a share the wealth offense, but you force feeding the pass to your favorite players on the team. You can't do that. Go and stick to what is winning. It's working. Run the football. I can't say it any simpler than that. I don't know what I brought up the Tennessee reference 2 weeks ago. I mean, Derrick Henry damn near ran the Titans last year to the Super Bowl. You know, it's okay. You Sean Payton, you don't have to you're trying to live up to these superlatives that people giving you. Oh, you a genius, the savior, the saint. Man, miss me with that shit, man. You know, run the football, Get in your defensive player's face, hold them accountable. And if they don't, you know what I'm saying, if they keep messing up and if they keep on doing what they're doing, get somebody in here, get players in here that's committed, that will do what it takes to turn their head around, to play the ball, to not, you know what I'm saying, to not get beat deep, to not be bopping their head and slapping hands and dapping each other up just because the receiver dropped the ball and he almost got the third down. I don't want to see this secondary doing no handshakes, man. You know, and that's pretty much all I got to say, man. My eyes is on Sean Payton, and my eyes is on Cam Jordan. My eyes is on Marcus Williams. And the last thing I'll say is my eyes is on Marshawn Lattimore, too, for one reason only. I want to see what he does against the lesser-known receivers. There is no number 11 across from me now. There is no Mike Evans across from me. No DeAndre Hopkins. There is none of that against, you know, across you this week. Are you going to be the guy that steps up like the first-round draft pick that we know you are, or are you going to be the guy that let Darren Waller get open? Are you going to be the guy that let Lazard get open? Are you going to be the guy that was getting, you know, smoked by Cooper Kupp? These are the type of things, and these are the type of games where I look at Marshawn Lattimore, because the defense goes as he goes. We didn't count on the secondary being bad and the pass rush being bad. Q, I didn't see that coming, bro. We struggling in both areas. We can't sack the damn quarterback, and you can't get an interception, and you can't turn your head around, and you're susceptible to the deep ball. Nah, bro, this red flag's all over this place. It's challenge flags all over this. We got to run this back, Q. We can't let the defense do that. Nah, man. You know what I'm saying? Get y'all asses out there. Quit playing. And, you know, hey, I ain't going to speak for everybody, but if the defense keep going the way it is, I think heads need to roll, and we need to wait till the end of the season to do it. And that means players and coaches. If the defense keep playing like this, it's time to get people up out of here. Let's start making examples, and let's start getting these trash cans up out of here. I'm talking to you, P.J. Williams. I'm talking to you, Marcus Williams. I'm talking to you, Patrick Robinson. I'm talking to you, Malcolm Jenkins. I'm talking to everybody in that secondary. Everybody. Because everybody's, you know, bears some culpability for the pathetic, you know, excuse that we have as a defense right now, you know. And I'm looking at the pass rush kind of side-eyed too. But, you know, sometimes they make their plays sometimes. But, hey, you know, the secondary and the defensive line is struggling. And when you got to have one that's good, you both of them can't struggle at the same damn time, man. You know, you can't have a bad pass rush and a bad secondary. And that's the last point I wanted to make, man. Thanks for taking my call, Q. And who that?
Who that, Iceman? Thank you, bro. That's the Iceman. Peace to him. Thank you. That was Iceman was calling it, man. Big ups to the Iceman dropping the knowledge, man. And Uncle Paulie too, man. Both of those brothers was dropping the information, man. And Uncle Paulie, Iceman, and Mike from Hold'em Hook TV. Great sentiments from the family members as well for this edition of the show, man. I'm gonna tell you, bro. They're keeping it real, and they're upset, and they have the right to be upset, man. You know, the Saints need to be dominating teams, and they're doing it simply because they're not dominating teams, simply because of the play calling, the refusal to understand that your playbook is compromised, and instead of force feeding, your wide receivers are hurt, run the ball, your running backs aren't. You know, so, I mean, plus you have injured offensive linemen. It helps them when you run the ball. You know, they don't have to do anything spectacular, just plod the guy in front of them. You know, so, I mean, it's just amazing. We'll just keep on monitoring it, family. But before we go, I'd like to shout out to the Iceman and Uncle Paul and Hold'em Hook TV, Mike. Big ups to the family members chiming in on this edition of the Friday show. Week 8 Saints versus Bears preview and more. And as always, I'd like the family member to check out our Pro Shop. 2 of our newest shirts. We have over 50 designs available. Hundreds of dozens of products are available at the Pro Shop. I'm not kidding you. Coffee mugs, smartphone cover cases, yoga pants, socks, pullovers, sweaters, onesies, bags, purses, all kind of stuff. Stickers, towels, wall art. everything. These are two of the shirts that's available, the newest shirts. We ain't building spaceships, run the ball. And you see the nice Fleur de Lis design there with the spaceship. And of course, the 2 Rushes First Down shirt is one of our popular shirts. It comes in several colors, several sizes, up to 5X for the big fellas. And our smaller sizes, it's a nice, comfortable shirt. 2 Rushes First Down, 2 rush, very simple, stylish way to make a great point about what we need to be doing. Check out the Pro Shop link in the description section below. Also, big ups to the rest of the family members, and feel free to join Pro Radio, Spreaker.com/The Sports Coma, Spreaker.com/The Sports Coma. Pro Radio, all of our shows are available on audio and in audio format at Pro Radio. All of them, all of our shows, Sports Coma, Pelican Post Game Report, Ring King Boxing, and Tough Tiger Talk, all available at Pro Radio. Link in the description section below. All right. Thank you, family, for all the stuff that you guys are doing. Big ups to our Patreon, our newest Patreon members that have joined up. Big ups to our YouTube members as well for signing up to help the platform. If you like what we're doing and want to be a part of it, feel free to go to patreon.com. Donations is, you can donate as little as $1 a month, and you get access to TSC Q&A Live. It's a lock show we do. We got lock content available there. Once you sign up, it's unlocked, and then you can be able to watch the 20+ shows that we do on TSC Q&A Live, which is a show that we do every Tuesday at 6 p.m. for our Patreon and YouTube members exclusively. And of course, when you join Patreon, you also have access to On Q with Big Q. That's available, 10+ shows of that as well. Big ups to our sponsor from LifeMask.com. You can go there and check out GetLifeMask.com and check out the Mask Pelican Saints LSU mask. They have the PM2.5 special filter, not just a face covering, but it actually has a filter that helps, filter the air as well. So if you want a mask with a filter in it, go to GetLifeMask.com, and then you can use the product code The Sports Coma to knock off 10% of that price. Once again, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us for the show today. Just over 3.5 hours. Great show. Appreciate the family members joining us again for this really nice show. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. And the next show we'll do, of course, will be the Sports Coma. As far as the Sports Coma is concerned, will be we'll come at you guys at 1:30 on Sunday. 1:30 Sunday. We'll start with the TSC virtual tailgate at 1:30 up this upcoming Sunday. We'll start 2 hours before the Saints game. 1:30 we'll start, and we'll have the TSC virtual tailgate, in which you chime in with your thoughts, analysis on what you think will happen in the game. We'll have the latest information on the injury report as well leading up to the game. And then, of course, 30 minutes after the game, we'll have the TSC virtual recap, where we'll recap the game. And, of course, both shows, we have the chat open for people to chime in and give their thoughts and analysis on the game. That'll be Sunday at 1:30 Central Time. Of course, a little programming note for the family members. Tonight on Pelican Post Game Report. Friday is Pelican Post Game Report night on the Pelican Post Game Report channel. That'll be coming at you guys about 9:30. You can check that out. DC will be as well co-hosting me on that. Usually we'll open up the chat. We open up the chat for discussion about their thoughts on the Pelicans and how they feel about Stan Van Gundy being there. We have the latest Pelican news as well. That'll be on the Pelican Post Game Report tonight. And as well, for our Tough Tiger Talk family members, we'll be covering or recapping the Auburn game that'll be going on after 2:30 tomorrow. The LSU Tigers match up with the Auburn Tigers. We'll have the recap around about 5 o'clock. We'll have that right after the game. We'll recap the game as well. Uncle Mozzie joins me for the Tough Tiger Talk. That'll be on Saturday, excuse me. So feel free to join us for those different programs. You can go to Tough Tiger Talk. The link is in the description section below. Pelican Post Game Report. The link is in the description section below as well. And Ring Kings Boxing, new episode was released on Ring Kings Boxing. We do those once a week as well. Description for that is in the chat as well. So big ups to all the family members that joined us today on the show. Big ups. Thanks for all our callers. Big ups to you. I see you, Troy. Who that to you, Troy Thompson, in the chat. Give a shout out to some of the family members. 504 Easy. Who that to you as well. Who else? JT. Good to see you, JT. I see you, fam. T Dirty. What's up, T Dirty? My dog T Dirty in the building as well. Big ups to you and Yearns, fam. Good to see you in the chat as well. Lance Kelly. Who that to you? and all the family members that I miss. Big ups to the family members. Thank y'all. Please hit the like button if you hadn't, and please join the subscribe to the broadcast if you aren't a subscriber. So thank you guys. I'll see you guys a little later. Peace and who dat.
Yeah. Well, all right. Like you always say, welcome, welcome, welcome. #1 sports talking D. We ain't like the Falcons, we won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that, who got cut and who back. Rookies and the vets, players you should look at. It's the sports coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game, party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Peyton, New Orleans, who that nation. Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or rivalry could ever hold us back. No, Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the sports coma, all we know is say Super Bowl. Yeah.